on this misfortune. It looks like here, rather than putting the Corki bottom. I like this because I think it's not going to do well into the Varus, but it'll do a lot better. And you have some setup here with the Ambessa to try to get into the backline and have Misfortune have a little bit more space. So I actually like the Bulldog techs the first strike into this because he has the range advantage and is just going to be looking to farm. And Dudu may be in trouble.
Well, they're going to be able to get the charge into the wall. Dudu is lit on fire as aiming, trying to get out of the way. Not going to be able to stack up enough, though, as you can see. So Dudu, 100 health underneath this turret. Let's see how Shiu's going to go underneath his. Able to dodge out of the way of the Winter's Wrath, but I don't think that's going to be enough. Berserker takes that one. That's going to be first blood over to the DN Freaks. But the answering... got it.
Just to make it clear.
Well, right now, Lucid is going to throw some bowling balls. Barrel's in a lot of trouble. Steadfast Presence lasts a bit longer than that life, unfortunately, as Showmaker makes his way in. Let's see whether the Superplex is going to be in position as the big one, almost actually ending Barrel's life before they can really start off the fight. But as you can see, DK with control of the area. They are going to be able to grab one of these. There's the Face Breaker and the Superplex. Big punch to the noggin. Still, Showmaker may be going down for this one as the Hail of Arrows comes in. Great ulti there from Dudu as the flash out from aiming. And Life is the one now in trouble. Shiu in that front line. It is an absolute mess. Be able to take this first dragon. That is going to put them well in position. That wasn't in position, though, unfortunately. The public execution no one turned up for, as it turned out.
I just noticed that we don't have the gold lead UI up today for some reason.
Oh yeah, we don't.
Because I was wondering how behind aiming is with this. Yes.
Oh dear, Dudu taking a nap. This is not the time to be sleeping, as he's going to have to put that flash on cooldown once again. Solar Flare, beautiful position as Lucid comes in and answers the kill, but that is another one that's biting the dust. And Live says thank you at all, as far as what I can see.
And that's a lot of poke from aiming here in the initial part of this fight. The positioning here is really good for Berserker. It's hard to enter these grubs.
Yeah. Ooh, Chains of Corruption going to get the flash out from Live. As Showmaker making his way in. They just turn onto Barrel immediately, though. Life down exceptionally low, but it doesn't seem to matter. Man advantage is going to be there for the DN Freaks, and they should be able to grab all of these grubs. That's going to be 5-1.
That was really well played by... Okay, hold up.
Okay, it's another Solar Flare onto Barrel. Gonna get Chain CC'd as Shiu's gonna try and make his way in. Decent heroic charge, but I think Barrel's still dead. Does flash, gets himself out of the way as it's nap time for Bulldog. Oh God, that was too many things thrown at the Corki.
We're still 800 gold up though.
Oh dear, Steadfast Presence almost blocks the stun, but there is too much CC to come on through here. Bulldog turns up and Barrel's dead yet again. Strength that way, but they're gonna be able to get first turret blood as Chains of Corruption come down. Make a rain here from Berserker just to deter aiming.
I mean, look at how much value the blood...
As the big one does rain down. Are they going to be able to get in here? Showmaker just running forward. There's the Face Breaker. It is going to be Lucid that locks down the Dragon. But can they win the fight? That's the question. Flash out here from Showmaker. Superplex to get Life out of the fight. Very, very low. There's the double sleep. Lucid gets the watch out Eve, and they do need to watch out. Dudu trying to fight 3, but he still has to flash away. And Berserker's under the turret, but I don't know whether that safety is. There it is. The Q comes through. Watch out Eve yet again as Lucid gets the triple.
Lucid is popping off Atlas! Had upgraded boots at the time, so it's not really a big spike they hit. Obviously, getting the turret gold and all is nice, and having it better. Showmaker doesn't pull life out that same way. Maybe Berserker's ult gets them enough power there, so it's really difficult for Lucid to follow up that same way. It was just a really well-played team fight for D+. 5 kills on this Lilia, has an arm guard teched in, but also, I think this is a large rod. He is doing big damage right now.
Yeah, and he's, Shiu's going to be able to take down this turret, and that's going to even things out as far as that. It's not over yet, as Lucid looking to make his way in, aiming going to be joining as well. Oh dear, this could be a real rough time. Superplex comes in from Showmaker. The turret going to start getting angry here, but it's Lucid that made it upset. And so they're going to go 1-for-1. Berserker turns up at the right time here as Showmaker realizes he's not really going to be able to do too much about this. And there he goes. The Winter's Wrath is going to bear down on Showmaker not get turret aggro there.
It was really weird. Let's watch it again because there was also like some
used it in that top fight underneath the turret.
Oh.
Hopefully he does have an opportunity for it this time around as Glacial Prison comes down and engage onto the set. Not exactly optimal as Chains of Corruption comes in and pop goes the Leona. Shiu able to get himself out of this one as well as he dives forward. There's a very sleepy Corki. And the watch out heap comes down yet again. Lucy going to help grab that kill. It's actually the set that collects a bowling ball from downtown. I think we're giving that at least a spare, even if Yoshik doesn't go down. Berserker gets them away from the inner turret, and she... Oh, the snipe! You're not allowed to do that, the little
over here contest. But, I mean, Bulldog has TP in 2 when he spawns. They won't have Pyosik for the smite. This is going to be you have to win the fight or you are not getting this objective.
Well, they're looking for it. Remember, the amount of shred from this Otacon is so dangerous. Bulldog's going to turn up. That is going to be the secure here, but Dudu into that backline is looking very scary. Beryl going to get revived. And remember, this is Voracious Otacon, so they can just be here and die, but they're not even doing that. DK is still going to be able to win. Life is burning, burning, burning. It's a pirouette from Lucid to finish him off. And like every objective went to DNF. The early game was so good, and now DK are just kind of ignoring them and winning the game.
Well, I think DNF should have made a different call here, you know? It's a solid build. I like this version.
Yep, and they also have just a lot of damage in the Lilia and the Varus.
The problem with going for that Otacon contest is you end up giving so much control plus the res.
Yeah, and also it's basically a flip, right? Like if you don't get that smite at the end, then you just lose the team fight because no matter what, DK are going to win it as Xiu going to be just heading back home. Still had that buff.
Yeah, and the problem is like, the crux of that is they didn't have Pyosik, so they didn't have a smite, so you're just trying to steal it with damage, and if you don't get it, you never win that fight. I mean, they have res too.
It was kind of a losing situation.
Exactly. I just don't think they should have opted in, and now they may lose the game over it.
Well, Dudu has a decent flank angle. The inhibitor turret is going to go down. Some health bars are low, but remember, Voracious Otacon. He exists. Snoozing time as Pyosik looks to try and get out of there. Bulldog also wanting to go back to the fountain for quite a while.
Dudu?
And Dudu still just holding position. Not wanting to overly commit to anything when they do have this buff. 10 seconds remaining as Xiu going to be turning up Life, looking for that angle. There's the flash in from Beryl, but his teammates are just not there.
But they're not going to throw over it. They're not going to overextend and give a ton of gold over. They'll still just kite back here and take the down on Otacon, where they had such a great early game. Like you mentioned, they had all the objectives. They had a Corki get 2-item spike and they're just very carefully going to take this turret out here. No one's in the bottom lane.
Well, they can also hit the Baron. That's going to go down extraordinarily quickly. Lilia very, very good at killing that. And DNF, they don't even really know yet that one's going down as they get rid of the Sejuani. They get rid of the Baron. They're going to get rid of Life as well. The bowling ball goes over the top. That was a bit of a trick shot there, you could say, as Lucid going to hit that Q onto Bulldog to make it. I don't know about the bullet time positioning there, but Berserker just trying to get them out of the way as Xiu goes in, and oh god, these wallets are absurdly heavy. Dudu's wondering what the heck he's supposed to do. And Lucid, yeah, the watch out, not even going to be the thing that kills him because he smote him in the air. And this is going to be the end of this game. DK looking fantastic, coming alive in that mid game and really not letting go of this one.
Yeah, I really do feel like this was a winnable game for DNF despite a really tough draft, but could not actually get it to work as going a bit deep here.
Yeah, Life is likely to die, although does have the flash, so may not be falling down just yet. Gets onto the fountain, but these Nexus turrets, they're not going to be respawning this time around, guys. It's just going to be the Nexus going down, and Beryl playing up in the faces of DNF, and DK still looking real good after their initial victory, able to take down the DN Freaks here in game number 1. We'll see how they go in the rest of the series, but this first game is over.
Lucid is just fully in his challengers mode now, man. He's not
Zilean, obviously Zilean. Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well, Wolf. I thought that Zilean just fits really well into this composition, and they should probably go with the Zilean. And that's exactly what Bulldog's thinking as well, as he just like bursts out laughing, like, what the heck?
With another volley to come through to slow on the way out, but doesn't go for it as Xiu is going to get ulted.
Yeah, Dudu just getting a little aggressive. Doesn't find the wall up though. Looks like Xiu might actually just kind of be okay as he throws down the ulti. Dudu hits Mini not exactly with the same amount of damage potential as, oh, there it is. Pyosik turns up in the nick of time. Xiu just going to be flashing after Dudu here, the flame spitter, not enough. And that is going to be first blood going over to Pyosik. Arrow connects onto Beryl. The cocoon lands at exactly the right time. I don't think we're repelling out of this one. Berserker, okay, that was a bit cute. Not going to be enough.
Not quite enough work, in theory.
Oh, yeah.
And they're going to get this dragon, which is pretty huge. That's going to be a third of a feat of strength for them. Actually, as it turns out right now, not the one that's never been played before.
Beryl's ganking, but so's Pyosik.
Yeah.
The repel is going to come on through here, and let's see what Beryl's actually going to be able to do. The ignite goes down, the man drop comes in as well. Life could be the one falling here, but this Pantheon's also in so much trouble. Bulldog turns up in the nick of time as, able to get that chrono shift activated, and now half health there from Lucid. Lands the spear, my god, the damage! Right, as Beryl is going to demonstrate by repelling and then coming back down, but Berserker is going to tag him here. Flash out does need to be utilized, as Life taking a little bit of damage here, but Lucid as well getting targeted. Beryl now in that front line, gonna get gnawed into the wall, and Dudu taking matters into his own very large Mega Gnaw hands. As Sheer, the equalizer, not exactly connecting the way we want it to, as the arrow will land, and down will go this Rumble. DK, I mean, things were looking kind of all right, but now not so much, as Life's dead.
Yeah, that was weird, but otherwise pretty well.
Around the dragon fight is kind of etched into my mind. So we'll see how he does go here. As, all right, Lucid going to turn up. There's the flash forward. Not quite in stun range, but there it is. Just a flash required. And what you do is you throw a cocoon and hope it hits someone. As Beryl will demonstrate. There it is, and it hits someone. The anchor also going to land onto Life here as in goes Lucid. That chrono shift still available, remember. As the equalizer once again just sort of hanging out, doing not a whole lot. But still, DNF just going to back away. And it looks like a second objective to go down here for DK, a second dragon as well for them. That will be secured.
It's unfortunate once there, even though they had the better cryo setup, they weren't able to execute on it. And both of these
to win the race as far as taking that first turret is concerned, so that is certainly good for them. Some beefed up Starfall chrono shift combo that they're making work. As all right, let's see how DNF can make this one happen. As putting up the wall is Lucid. Can Showmaker actually stop him from dying? The answer is absolutely yes. Good timing there on the chrono shift as well. But now that is off cooldown. Rock's going down. Double seismic shot will connect. And the hook is going to be there as well. Beryl can have to go up into the sky, but they're keeping them busy for so long. Dudu's Mini-Gnaw now on that backline. Gets the hop forward. The flash out from Beryl. And they do go 1-for-1 as Showmaker just staying alive. And the Flame Splitter is just going to cook this Nautilus.
Untouched. I mean, we'll watch the fight again in just a moment, but you can see the thought process again on this chrono shift. Just allow Lucid to go in. He's already tough to kill as it is because he can just turn it's just a single Hex Tech Drake. D+ are set up on the more important objective top side. Looking like they're even going to be able to take out this top side turret as well.
Yep, Rift Herald going to come on over there as well, as Aiming was the one that picked that one up. A little bit perplexing that he was the one that did get there, but it looks like
to just go W and auto that turret even with no minions there, but he thinks better of it. Waits, takes it out safely now. His vision really rules the map. Shiu in trouble though.
Yep, Rock's going down here as the equalizer just going to be thrown through. The flash over the shove is kind of cute, but Shiu is likely still going to, never mind, underneath the turret, and he dodges the drill. Will he be able to dodge more, though? That's the question as the scrap shield comes in, and then the, threaded volley will just kill him. Mandrop coming down here as the Grand Skyfall delivers Lucid, and Bulldog is dead.
Well, this is going to be a time buy here for Bulldog, I guess, for his team to get more vision topside. They're looking for Beryl, and he will get away.
And with Arakan's been alive for quite some time now. They do have everyone grouped up there towards that top side. Just bleeding turrets 50%. And remember, this is all about the smite. You get that smite, you get the extra life, and it doesn't matter about an ensuing fight at all. Let's see whether Lucid can make that one happen. Arrow going to be collected there by Aiming. Seismic Shove gets cleansed as Shiwu not going to be surviving this time around, and now Lucid's going to need a chrono shift if he wants to live. This is a dangerous Arakan this time around, as now Bulldog fighting against Aiming. This triple shove on the back end, and he almost wins the 1v1 at the same time. Absolutely absurd. There's DNF being able to pick themselves up the Arakan buff as well.
That they're going to lose a few more of these Arakan buffs as Berserker.
Yep, Berserker is dead. Shiu going to turn up. There's an equalizer. That one placed kind of beautifully. I think he took what I said personally, as he's just going to melt the Vi as well. Oh, Bulldog regretting that particular summoner spell decision. And he will be sent back to the fountain. Wow. Dudu still with the Arakan buff here, as I'm having a little bit of trouble keeping track of who still has theirs. But yeah, he might be sent home. Yeah, sent into the brush first, but now he is told to recall.
Yeah, we're going to have to go into the replay to see why they made that call, because Bulldog died before they got Arakan, so he still actually had the buff when he came in, so I get the idea there, but now you've just lost basically all your buffs except lives, and the Baron is going to D+. I mean, Bulldog's trying his best to change that reality, but he's going to need to hit a little bit more poke.
Yeah, And Showmaker's flashing forward, looking for Bulldog. Seismic shove, going to connect onto aiming. He has to be chrono shifted. As now Life under half health. Bulldog is just sniping them out of this one. As Lucid soaking that damage really nicely. Will get sped up, gets out of there. Dudu flashing over. He's got that Mega Nut, but he's still gonna die before it even goes off. There is the cease and desist from Goshik. There's a Vault Breaker as well. The chain CC is good, but Lucid is just better. Shiu layers the damage.
You know, because he survives and does so much damage in this follow-up. Dudu also a little bit overzealous on the engage timing here. Doesn't quite have his Meganar and is cocooned before he can use it. If he can hit,
they're going to look to push towards this top side. They'll be able to take down this inner turret and continue the aggression.
Man, it's really just salt in the wounds here for DNF. I mean, they had so many desperate wins and then overextended to giving D+ back the game. The Baron goes over. Now they've lost this wonky composition. And we'll go 1-1 in the group. And it's like, you know, you felt so good about coming into this draft. You had your own robust draft. You're like, oh, D+ draft's a little bit silly. We can outplay. Especially with some of the really miraculous plays they've had. And they played the map so well, too.
Yeah, and I don't want to say like something like it's obviously been scrimming. Like, the way Lucid and Showmaker are playing together on this Zillion Pantheon, as we're going to see demonstrated right here. Diving underneath this inner turret. Goshik looking to try and defend, but watch. Showmaker's just going to say, nah, he lives this. And the depth charge comes on through. Shiu going to be able to go golden as aiming finishes off the turret. Look at these health bars. They're so incredibly low. Barrel's dead again, but that's exactly what he wanted.
Captured my heart. Like, they're a team I really want to root for. Hold up.
Well, they're going to kill Barrel. Yeah, doesn't get to
9 deaths.
So it's fine. That's why he's allowed to do this. That's why it's a little bit less dangerous as Barrel getting the information that he can. As he dashes forward, that cocoon was phenomenal, the double bomb! And before Bulldog can do anything, he is just dead! As Beryl says, yeah, I've died 9 times, but your Nexus is still gonna explode!
Beautiful play from Beryl, and I think they've won it now!
Okay, Shiu, the walking barbecue underneath the inhibitor turret is now they're just diving in. The turret will be taken down, aiming to full health. And he is going to take down Life first. Berserker running for the fountain. Dudu not given that luxury. And yeah, there are Drakes available, there are Barons available, but there's also a Nexus to destroy and things to do back home as DK are looking for the 2-0.
That's it. The top inhibitor going to go down a second time here as Lucid is going to go for one more celebration.
It is Starfallen time. And he doesn't, I thought you were going to go straight onto the fountain. That would have been a whole lot more fun. As aiming, looking to try and kill Berserker on his fountain.
Well,
as DK, like this is a statement start to this LCK Cup as the equalizer is in there. And ever since I gave Shiu a little bit of flack for his equalizer.
But yeah, I think there's so much growth potential in this player who already has such a high floor, let's say.
Oh, 100%. Like, I cannot wait to see DK's next game. Mainly because we don't know what they're going to be picking. It's been a whole lot of fun thus far. And the fact that it worked, the fact that they cook like that crazy and it still works is extraordinarily impressive. So I'm just hoping that we get as much more of that as possible. Player of the match, though, Wolf.
Lucid.
Is it just Lucid? It's just Lucid, right? It's got to be. His Lilia was so incredibly good. And the Pantheon, he picked Pantheon. He played it on purpose. There he is. 8, 2, and 12, that triple kill, I think we can all remember. A 10 KDA for game 1.
I think there might be some scattered votes around, and I think that's totally fine, but for me, it was a pretty easy call.
Yeah.
You know, like, if he inted game 2 and had a horrible game, I probably would have still voted for him for how hard he played Lilia in game 1, you know what I mean?
Yeah, very true. And we will get information on who voted for what, I believe, after the POM interview as well, and so we'll get all of those cool little anecdotes as people do announce what's going on. But now it is time to throw it over to the interview.
Thank you very much. This is Dear for the POM interview translation, joined by Lucid on the side of D+ Kia, who just secured another victory for Group Elder. Congratulations!
와, 네, 2대0으로 완승을 하면서 2연승을
With the
달성했는데요.
2-0 victory, you just secured your second consecutive win.
들어볼게요.
And Group
일단
Elder
이렇게
is
이겨서 장로
leading
그룹에 기여할
the
수
leaderboard.
있어서
How do you
정말
feel?
좋은 것 같고 그리고 오늘 2대0으로 이겨서
It feels
더
great to
기분
be
좋은
able
것
to
같습니다.
contribute to Group Elder and being able
아니,
to
오늘
continue our win streak is actually very great.
레드 1픽으로 판테온이 나왔어요.
In game 2, for our one pick, you guys locked in Pantheon, and then completed the draft with Elise and Zillion, a never-before-seen comp. So what kind of synergy were you looking for? To be honest, because it is the Fearless draft, there's a lot of limitations on champions, and you'll start seeing a lot of new champions as well. So as we are practicing a lot of different champions, I think this is just something that we ended up with. I think so far this was the most fun we had with the draft.
네, 그래가지고 판테온
It looks like you guys are really enjoying your time with the draft. Yeah, when we locked in Pantheon and Elise and Zillion, everyone was just full of smiles, and we really enjoyed our time. And these unique picks are actually really paying off. And the Zillion Pantheon comp on stage looked so good. So
일단 판테온
how do you guys come up with these comps?
LPL에서 먼저 나왔고 그리고 감독
You know, in
선수들이랑
LPL, that's where we first saw Pantheon.
그 과정 속에서
And
발견한
as a team, we talk with the coaching staff, and through the process, we end up with these sort of comps.
판테온 한번 해보자.
So who comes up with these comps then? I think our head coach usually initiates these sort of conversations, and then we just agree, okay, we'll try it, and then that's how we ended up with the Elise and eventually Zillion as well. And D plus Kia is definitely amplifying the fun in Fearless Draft. Lucid, you won the Rookie of the Year award last year, and your contribution today was immense as well. And we can just see how seasoned you are becoming. So compared to last year, how do you think you grew? As I play the game, I think I actually feel a lot more comfortable. I feel a lot more stable. So it feels like I have more leisure, and I can be a little more laid back while I play. And you weren't a part of D plus Kia back then, but many fans have been saying that they're seeing the old D plus Kia. What is your goal for this LCK Cup? You know, with me joining this great team, a lot of people may have been concerned, but I'm confident that I can grow as a player, and we can definitely show and display better performance in the future. And that's the end of the interview with Lucid, and back to the space. Thank you.
I mean, if they're calling it like the D plus Kia of old, that means they're calling Lucid OG Canyon right there, which is quite the compliment by the fans. It's 2-0 for D plus Kia over the DN Automotive Freaks in the battle of our car sponsors. It is D plus Kia get the victory here.
Yeah. Inside of me, there are two voices, and one is telling me to chill, telling me to reason, and the other one is just yelling hype really loudly.
Hype train!
It is hard not to get excited because thus far the team has looked creative, on the same page, and Barrel is doing peak Barrel 6. I think these votes make complete sense. Really does feel like the aiming one is the only one where I'm a little bit questionable, not because I feel like he was a problem, but come on, guys. Like, is this challengers? The man is dunking on people. And it is not just that, but we saw glimpses of this DK last year as well. But they were never able to string it together. And now, it's all we've seen from them.
Yeah, I mean, Lucid played really well, but also I really wanted to vote for Showmaker because he picks Seth and he picks Zillion, and also he tanks, he punches, but he throws the bombs and he does everything, man! This Showmaker, this is the Showmaker that I really wanted to see again, and this is the DK place I was been looking for, man.
I will say, Chronicler, it is easier to play Pantheon.
And he's not happy with it, but Tom's made the call. Perhaps it's Faker who's ultimately decided, but at the end of the day, he is going to be playing that Lovers duo.
Faker is no stranger to playing the Galio. One of my favorite Rift rivals was when Faker and Rookie were both there, both of them at the height of the Galio meta.
Yeah, I mean,
and looked really, really good. It's always been a treat.
Lazy
Feel, this is a treat for him and not one that he really wants. I think knows that he's dead as he throws down the barrier. There's the Wind Becomes Lightning. His owner is going to make sure that the Ezreal dies, and over the wall goes Sponge, understanding that moves over, gets full information. All right, there's the weave as well. Andal flashing over, looking for Carrier. Hasn't pressed that W just yet, as there it is. Into the wall they go. Seismic Shove is fantastic. Heroic entrance. Not getting the knockups they're looking for, but Andal's still in trouble. Carrier going to be going down first, though, as it's both supports lying on the floor. The barrier comes in. Lazy Feel is still going to get cut down by the feathers, and Yukal, oh no, doesn't manage to hit the rocks as the flash goes forward. Did he get stopped because the rocks were still there?
I'm actually not sure.
Looked a little bit weird.
Well, we'll see maybe on the
We'll
replay.
check in.
I thought he just went back.
Oh no, there weren't any rocks.
Yeah, I think he just went back, but are you right away that?
But it was
something
weird, like, because you can't cancel Justice Punch, right? Like, so as soon as you're starting to do that, like, something had to stop him.
Well,
But I
I
was
thought
sure the rocks weren't there on the board for DRX. Have to see them find a bit of an angle here. As Sponge even finding an interrupt on Carrier. There's a cease and desist as well. Seismic Shove pushes him back. Carrier's just dead. Heroic.
How he's gonna pilot this champ. He's already had one good fight as Doran.
Yeah, Rich gonna be like finding the ultimate. Immediately onto Doran here, and oh, Sponge, perfect positioning once again, continues charging, but that's a great...
Has another opportunity to grab an additional.
Yeah, Handel is level 6, did manage to make it there as the wall comes through. They're looking for Gumayusi. They will be giving away a few of these grubs, but Gumayusi is going to die. Does have to use all of the summoner spells, as Yukao could almost just die here, and Gumayusi will survive. T1 take 4 out of the 6 grubs in the early stages of the game as well, and I'd say if you're a T1 fan, you're real happy with how that one went.
I mean, I told everyone he's the one you can trust.
Never mind. Maybe don't be... Oh, never mind. He's fine.
He's the one you can trust. And they ended up giving up the grubs as well. Now Rich is isolated. Sponge comes over. Does have ult flash.
Yeah, let's see whether they can deny this first turret, because that'll mean feats of strength going over to T1. Faker. Let's see it. Okay, there is the public execution, and Doran will be going down first. Oh, they take their time! They take too long! And he's able to get the kill onto Rich. Sponge versus Faker here. I think it's probably still pretty good for Faker, despite the fact that he is Galio, not necessarily good at dealing with physical
First turret as well, which would be feats for them.
Yep, that's
they won't get it.
Strength. So T1 will be able to collect that one for themselves. We're on a champion that can just brawl with you early on in the game.
And now Doran's going to grab this turret as well. And man, T1 snowballing this gold lead. 2 turret. Yeah, I mean, I think in this fight the answer is no. They're just not set up for it at all. I mean, they're not
even... get almost towards the burn urn, perhaps. Unless he does go for, you know, something else. Could be a little bit more of a battle Galio, but that is going to be second dragon.
Basically everything but that first dragon. And they're looking for more here.
Yep, Ona going in. Oh, the Seismic Shove is gorgeous, but he does have that Crescent Guard. They're trying to block these dashes. The Zinzao goes down as Rich zoning Gumayusi out of this fight. Sponge just getting the heck out of there. Red buff will be secured here by Doran, but he might die for it. That could be a little bit of a problem. Faker able to make his way out as there's a public execution, this time onto Faker, but he creates the distance he's looking for. Featherstorm comes through from Gumayusi. He's still at full health. As the heroic entrance, once again, not finding a lot of value. Decent knockup. Faker is likely to go down, but he trades for Sponge. Yukal's over the wall. The Seismic Shove onto Doran. He finds the big rock carrier. Is he able to get out? The battle dance says absolutely, because he just dashes all over the place, and they don't have infinite rocks. They don't have the most steadfast presence, but they do have Rich. And let's see whether he can grab a double here. The grand entrance is decent. Seismic Shove misses. And oh my god, they had like 20 health between them.
I mean, Guma held his flash until the very, very end.
Oh, True Shot Barrage. Oh, it gets him. And Carey gets taken down. Andil, big giggle for that one.
This is a big win though for DRX.
Oh,
I mean, they take a kill lead here. The gold lead is thinned out significantly. They're only 2,000 behind. That'll get even smaller once this turret falls here. Rich will get the whole thing, but the rest of his team is already on his way out. And oh, we have more.
Oh dear. Gumayusi's dead. There it is, coming in towards his top side. And Rich is going to join, looking to try and get rid of Doran. There is still an outer turret up there. So he does have a bastion of safety he can head towards, and Ona could make this interesting. Keeper's Verdict comes down, as there is the public execution. DRX looking to dive on top of the jungler, but Sponge is already down. Meanwhile, there's a battle on multiple fronts. Doran and Carrier looking like they're almost winning, as Lazy Feel wants to take down Doran, and he will be able to get there. In the meantime, Rich is limping away from the battle, and Ona says absolutely not. And then Andil can do absolutely nothing. Gumayusi, he'll turn up extraordinarily late, probably just to help his team grab this Arakan buff.
Lazy Feel is in no man's land as well. Looking for some damage here onto Guma, but I think his fate is sealed.
Yeah, let's see whether LazyField can make this interesting. Otacon is on his team at the moment as LazyField. Oh man, I got so excited that something could almost happen.
Yeah, a little bit interesting.
Yeah. Gumayushi pressed barrier, so I guess he got that.
Well, I mean, now he's done enough damage here to where they can't really Otacon safely, and they're going to have to back, so this area is so free to take. And DRX don't have the damage just yet. I mean, their Ezreal's on 2.5 items, but they don't have the damage to crush Otacon in return. They're going to look for a dive on the Faker instead.
Yeah, that was a little bit weird, that whole situation, as Sponge presses the ultimate button. Faker gets out of the turret range. True Shot Barrage is going to help aid it. And UCal not wanting to take any chances. He's going to use that ultimate just to make sure that they have as many people in the area as possible.
I mean, you get Faker, you should be able to get this turret. So you get something in return for that dragon that did go over. This took a lot of resources to do so. A lot of health bars getting low means it's tough to actually think this out. As Guma's splitting.
Yeah, he should be able to get this in a turret as well. Keria is making sure that he's being as frustrating as possible as Andil finds a heroic charge. He's the only one here. Keeper's Verdict comes down. There's a public execution as, of course, Ambessa can show up at a moment's notice. Doran is just so tanky, though. He gets over the wall. No one's dead quite yet, but Gumayushi is now going to turn up, and now it's Ona's turn. Oh, he gets pushed into the seismic shot, but it doesn't matter. He is so tanky, it is absurd. And Doran is still raining these shock blasts forward. I mean, tank Jace is so frustrating, man.
I guess it's just a trick, man. It seems like you can kill Jace because you're used to killing Jace all the time, but you can't kill him.
He used to be tank. Well, he's not that tanky, I guess, if Richard comes and kills him when he's on like 0 health. That's a lot of value from that Featherstorm as the True Shot Barrage sails by. Sponge in the back of this pit right now. Another opportunity for UCal as the fists are doing the talking for Sponge here at this stage. Not enough dashes there, unfortunately.
Ended up cleaning up a lot of those kills there in that last moment. And
all right, we need a Gleaming Quill steal. That's what we need. Oh, okay, there's a teleport. Remember, if this goes down in favor of DRX, they don't care.
It's happening live, but Guma actually gets so much value out of his ultimate, but then ultimately still goes down. Okay.
All right, Gumayushi once again trying to get some value out of some stuff. Triple seismic shove, and down goes the Xayah, and it's a free ticket.
I mean, they're just feeling like because they have these reses, they're going to be able to take out Baron. Still fairly greedy here from DRX.
Yeah, a few things on cooldown now as Keria is trying to battle dance around this fight. Andil off to the side, Keeper's Verdict. This could be so valuable, but instead he holds onto it. Heroic entrance coming on down there as they get a few knockups. Heroic charge onto the Galio, but he's so tanky. As T1, the more of these send homes that they can get without losing anyone, it's very important. 100 gold going over to Faker here as Rich. I'm not sure about that one, my friend, as he's going to dash around the fight and look for an opportunity to get something done, but he is just going to die. Is Doran likely to fall as well? A 1-for-1 as far as top lane. For T1, Keria getting over the wall here as Doran. Mega tanky. He's got his Spear of Sojourn now, so he's doing a bit more damage on top of everything, but man, it's looking a little bit frightening. All right, there's a Weaver's Wall. Okay, UCal, that is an aggressive move. The True Shot Barrage doing so much damage. Another great shove, but Andil still going to be lying on the floor. Sponge goes in. It's going to be the secure of the soul, and this heroic entrance is looking pretty good. Still Ambessa trying to get some work done. Owner is so tanky, it doesn't make any sense. The rock's not going to be enough, but LazyField is able to get that kill in the end. He's going to have to be a real hero now, though, because there are 3 T1 members looking for him and UCal.
He's got his passive. Maybe he gets out.
Yep, Grand Entrance coming down. Seismic Shove is decent as Keria. Will he actually go down? That's the question. He's trying to back, and it looks like he will survive. LazyField missing a bunch of buttons, and there's a flash forward from Gumayushi. 432 gold. Lying on the floor now is LazyField, unfortunately, and T1, they should be able to take what they want.
This doesn't feel like a pro game, Atlas.
This feels, yeah, this is fast and loose.
I don't even know what to analyze, you know? I'm aware of it. Rich going to teleport back in. This one more reasonable. Look at the flank angle here for Keria, though. Unseen.
Oh, no. Andil's going to whiff it. They can't see the health bars as Heroic Charge might make up for it. Doran is so tanky, though. Stop engaging on this guy. As Keria will be able to dash his way out. True Shot Barrage almost managed to steal it. Seismic Shove onto 2 again. But they've got health bars for days. They've got buffs all over the place. And DRX are just running out of hope in this game.
I think a lot of why this game looks so weird is because both of these teams have such a defensive advantage through these choke points with the taunt, with the rocks, with the shoves. But T1 are just so far ahead at this point. They have positional advantage there. Carrier is going to get caught. I don't know how much it matters.
Yeah, LazyField, yeah, he's going to be flashing away from that one very quickly.
That's going to be an inhibitor going down here.
Oh, there's the flash taunt. Going to connect onto two of them. In goes Andal, though, to try and stop this one from happening. But LazyField, in the blink of an eye, he disappeared. The Ambassador as well. Sorry, Rich. But it's a gray screen for now, and it looks like T1, they may not be stopping here. They might just be finishing this game off. Their first win on red side, and a pretty good sign if you want Baron to make a comeback in terms of the battle of the groups. The world champs finally on the board here with a victory over DRX here in game 1 at least. So I guess not necessarily finally on the board. Still need to do it one more time. This was a much better showing.
Damage, but we'll just be the Lee Sin ultimately here. And, you know, the thing is, the draft in isolation for DRX is like a...
T1, I just feel like they spike so incredibly hard in the early game. All right, there's a flash cocoon, and that looks like first blood pretty comfortably. Valkyrie away here from LazyField as best he can, as Sponge, Warrior Tricksters to get himself over the wall.
All Owner has to...
In this fight, that should be objective number 1 going on over to T1, as well as their feat of strength that they've already picked up with that first blood. Does mean that they are poised for the victor. In fact, the only... Okay, let's have a look at this. Just trying to clear out the wave as best he can is Rich. Bellows Breath going to be necessary there, but the cocoon going to land. A lot of burst damage. There's the headshot, and boom. That's it. Carrier's going to be able to pick it up in the end.
And is under a ton of pressure. He's playing against the defending world champions here. And look, they gave him Corki, but this is not about, like, man,
Powerful, right? Like, this is before they just started winning every world. It's like, this
when
was
Guma
2022.
They win everything. And they win this.
Yeah, like this.
Yeah.
Ace in the hole.
A lot because you're super squishy. The enemy team has ways to catch you. But when you have full vision control and full map control and a massive lead, I mean, this is just going to be T1 getting everything they want. This turret is next on the list.
Yep. Yukao going, these honest 5v5s just won't exist.
And I mean, look at the zoning they can do with these traps as well. Caitlyn is known to shoot far.
Yeah, she does do that.
In terms of range. And they just grab this Herald for free.
Personally, as Faker could be in trouble here. As the train comes down, this time it's going to land. Nice little chain CC there from Rich, but he's well and truly by himself. And he's going to have to try and flash away the flash forward from Owner, and he kicks him in the back of the head. That's going to send him to the death chain.
He said he is a big enjoyer of that. Faker may be in trouble really for real this time, maybe?
Yeah. He's not going to be able to make that flash work, as Owner is like, yeah, you're on your own, buddy.
Owner's like, DRX.
Yeah.
Or wait, maybe it's the Wukong, or maybe it's the...
It could honestly be any of them at this stage.
Yeah. This is a rough one, man. This is our first, like, real stomp, like...
Oh! Doran's dead! There we go. Yukao collects the second.
That's 3. 3 of these picks they've gotten where T1 and just... You know, this is one of the first times, too, for voting for player of the match where it gets really tricky for me. Because you had a really dominant performance from Owner and Doran in game 1, but, like, it's kind of the Guma Carrier show in this one. It's very split.
I think I'm probably still on the Owner train.
I think I am, too, to be honest with you, because he's had a good game here, even though it's been kind of quiet.
Yeah. I feel like this is the type of series where you kind of, oh, okay.
Maybe it's not Carrier.
And Carrier is going to die, but LazyField is in a lot of trouble. Still gets himself to relative safety. Gumayushi now in trouble. Yukao comes over. Oh, DRX, have you found an angle to get back in? Owner says no. The equalizer, not exactly the highest of value, but Yukao's the president. They have to keep that guy alive. He is all of the damage here for DRX. The Sponge diving towards Faker, trying to make me into a liar here as he is able to slam down with damage himself. Doran wanting to find an opportunity, but Yukao, too smart, able to walk out of the way of...
In live. I want to break this replay down too much because we are having some action in live.
Yeah, you can see Rich going to flash towards the wall and not over it. Faker is going to be gifted the kill, I believe. There it is. As Owner once again in control of this one. We're still waiting for the Wukong to turn up as he gets into the pit. Can they deny the solar kick? Says absolutely not. Yeah, I think POM going over to Owner sounds pretty good to me, as Andal is dead. And the turrets they're going to be able to take, utilizing that team-wide GA. So you know, have a trap wall set up so that T1 cannot be stopped. And yeah, they'll get the information. That's really cool. Still, the Baron is going to go down. There's nothing that they can do about it.
Yeah. I don't know, I'm at a loss for this one, Atlas.
Yeah, I am
Even
a
if he
little
dies, by the way, it's fine.
It doesn't really matter. Equalizer goes down. Yukal is the target. They've decided to kill him, and thus he will die. Andal gonna go down there as well. And yep, Carrier gets to buy some items. Shirelia's going to be put together here as he gets that free trip back home. And with Yukal dead, you can see slumped back in his chair, understands that this game was well and truly on his back. And Sponge, that's an interesting little situation here as T1, they understand that it's going to be really hard to stop them from just taking what they want because they can't even die. As Ona goes in, goes back out, that is going to be inhibitor number 1 going down. Mid lane can fall swiftly afterwards. There's an inner turret still up on the bottom side, so 3 inhibs probably not going to happen here, but a dead Nexus, that's certainly on the cards. There are still minions Conga lining their way in. 1 Nexus turret remains. As Andal, that Eclipse Shield not going to be enough. The train sails by without causing too much harm to anyone. And Yukal, I think, just going to park himself on the fountain because there's nothing he can do to stop the onslaught of T1. A 2-0. And Baron doubles the amount of kills their group has been able to pick up because the world champs have been able.
Welcome back to the space, everyone, as T1 go up 1-0 on DRX. As Group Baron are trying to get anything that they can here in the LCK Cup. Digon alongside Chronicler and Wadid in that last match there. It started off like, yep, T1's got it. And then all of a sudden, it turned into a slobber knocker, Cronny.
That's one way to describe it. I do appreciate your enthusiasm. I think we kind of knew, I think this always happens with T1, even given their world performance in the LCK, that's not how they looked. And I think this is a continuation of that. This was a team that was known particularly for their snappy team fight and objective calls. And thus far, they ended up getting the win, which is the thing that matters most. But the way that they got there, suboptimal.
Yeah, and you were talking about the draft as well. Like, I agree on that point. Like, for example, picking Rakan into Taliyah and Poppy seems quite weird, and also in-game it didn't work out really well. And the details were not really on point at all. But we don't care. It's just starting of the season, and it's just the first season for the T1 side, so we don't care that much.
Yeah, it feels like they're shaking off the rust, whereas DRX, again, playing with Lazy Feel as a substitute, still trying to put it together, although they did find that win in their first series. And at this point here in our replay, T1 are ahead, and they opt into a questionable fight.
The game here kind of takes a turn for the wacky. It is not necessarily the fact that Ona takes a damage here because he's in and ends up staying alive for a lot longer. Even though it ends up going down, a lot of resources have to be invested. But taking these type of narrow jungle corridor fights into Taliyah in particular, I think is just asking to get into trouble. The amount of coverage that Yukal has with his E is kind of crazy. And as Rich comes in, this could have easily been where they lost the game. They don't, because DRX are unable to fully execute, but it was close.
Yeah, for me, this is one of the moments when T1 actually disrespect the enemy team, because they were kind of ready for this fight. And also, as you mentioned, you are playing against Taliyah, Poppy in the jungle. I don't feel like you are really favorite in that fight. And that's one of the moments that when T1 is not having a successful starting of the season, and they really need to stop this.
Lazyfield does get the feels good snipe there at the end, but it doesn't, it's fine, right? And I think with a lot of the plays in this game, the biggest difference between these two teams is still the sense of what do you actually gain when you win a fight, and DRX was just never able to match there at any given point.
Well, you know what we gained from that last fight? Another fight. That fight was at 19 minutes. Next one, 20 minutes over at Otacon, right at the top there. They go straight back to it.
Yeah, I think the huge difference between DRX and T1 is in general. DRX is looking for the fight really great, you know. The way how they look for the fight and the way how they engage on them is great, but at the end they are getting nothing, you know. They're just fighting for the kills.
And here, the DRX fight is so split up. I don't think Andal really hit the mark with the Poppy. Felt like he wasn't able to consistently isolate key targets, which is one of the main reasons why the pick is so good. And if they just, I know Doran was tanky, and we'll add that in a little bit, but if they turn on him, they're completely, I think they can. I think they really have some split call issues, and it's making these fights really messy.
I mean, you have to think about it. It's not the killing game, you know. You have to do something after the kills, right? You get the kills and you have to move forward. Do you do the objectives, or do you get the structures, or I don't know. You have to kill the Nexus, not the champions.
Or even set up for a future objective. And
Exactly,
that specifically that was missing. It never felt like DRX got a substantial enough lead. It was always going to be coming out of fights, which T1 would win.
Yeah, well, the fights weren't too bad, and we know that because Lazyfield played in Challengers earlier and did super well there. So the hands were there, brains not so much. And speaking of brains of the operation, we're going to go to the new guy over for T1 because his job wasn't necessarily being the brains, but the brawn. He looked like, obviously he's playing Tank Jace, but he looked like straight up a boxer here.
You might not like it, but this is what peak performance looks like. Don't be a KDA Andy. Don't fall for the, Doran, he died 7 times, I think it was by the end. Do not be fooled. This man takes a beating better than anyone in the LCK. Look at him go. Unfazed.
He's taking so much damage, and that enables T1 to win the fight. And also, I'm not sure if it's a global thing. In Korean culture, it's normal to just, when you join new company, you start from the bottom. Even though you're really good at something else, you have to make coffee for your boss. That's your first job, you know. Maybe Doran is doing that thing in T1 right now.
My favorite part is that, like, I'm pretty sure at the end of that whole, because that fight went on for another minute, he does die, but he had a couple of other moments where he's just taking a big hit. And the reason why we highlight it is because, again, I don't think this game, T1, and I think you could see it on their faces, well, they go back to the coaching booth, and the coach will not be like, good job, guys, that was a clean win to DRX. They're expecting more, right? This is the reigning world champion, even with the swap. But they got the win, and that's in the end all that matters. But the way that we go about it, I think, might be looking to see them tighten up in game 2.
By the way, that's not the Doran. I mean, the one that getting hit by.
The one getting punched, and he keeps getting back up.
You know, that's the kind of lock-in you get where it's like you're the last one to pick, and all your friends are like, pick your champion, and you're running.
AD, but if we end up going till, I don't know, 100 CS, we're going to see 369 has a lot more mana in the tank and can probably take more trades in the long run.
Yeah, it's really going to be on Cube to take down 369 and keep a decent amount of health left, so that way when 369 comes back, Cube can just dump everything he's got onto it, get that recall in, and then come back and be like, okay, cool, we're on one apiece. You already see Cube going in, forcing the barrier out from 369 and doing a whole lot of damage.
Yeah, so I think so far 3 Qs landed successfully from Cube. He also dodged 369 phosphorus bomb with the Valkyrie forward. So some nice little mechanics coming through from Cube, just knowing exactly what he needs to do to win out on this matchup. He's clearly got the stream open on his second monitor so that he knows what the win conditions are. But we're already starting to see that, you know, Cube's mana a little bit lower overall. 369 has enough in the tank to probably keep it going. Both potions now being used, and we're going to see those health pools begin to equalize and how that ends up affecting these trades.
He's hitting these phosphorus bombs because he's called Cube. He's not called Woob. You know, he's hitting them Qs, but he missed one of them, and now 369 gets to go on, but he misses that one too. Yeah. This is weird, man. They all started missing Qs all of a sudden.
Yeah, and I think still with double ignite up for both of these players, Cube has got to try and deal with a larger minion wave, so he might want to try and thin that out before he goes for a bit of an all-in, but 2 ignites up, kill pressure relatively high, you'd think.
Yeah, well, W for W means that everything's all right, but 369 has a lot more mana. You know, you mentioned that tier might come into play, and it certainly is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to keep it a stack right now. The difference between these two players is not 45 mana, but it's certainly what...
369 now has that tier ahead of Cube, so see if that actually ends up mattering at all by the time we get down to it. I don't really think we're going to see any Muramanas come out, to be honest.
No. I mean, currently, right, 369 has a strict advantage because he has that extra mana pool, and now they're matched for items. There's 125 health that Cube has got stuck up in that health potion that will be in his favor if they end up needing the time to pop those potions. But 369 currently has the run of things, has the wave sort of pushing in, but has the CS lead, which is the more important part, and has barrier up as well.
Got a level advantage too. W for W, but Cube is taking so much damage. Force the barrier again. And that nice little big one just to capitalize that trade.
Yeah, so ignite for barrier now, and then by by extension, they're both going to have both of those summoner spells, respectively, if Cube goes for an engage as well. You can see, though, down on experience. Now with that level 8, should be looking to stay at least a little bit even with the farm.
Yeah, it's so hard for him to touch the wave because 369 at any moment can just W in, and if he's just a little bit faster than Cube, and Cube's a little slow to react, you'll be just missing so much HP. I love he's trying to zone him off the wave here.
Yeah, I mean, if you can slow play this, can just end up going for the 100 CS. I don't know that there's particularly been one of those just yet, but when we get round to maybe the end part of this game, Cube's going to have to go for an all-in, and I think that's what the recall's for. The issue is going for an all-in at this stage. It's going to be down experience, and the difference in levels might end up being enough to allow 369 to win that all-in. And if he just also matches the base, he's not going to get... He's going to be very valuable. And as 369 here, this feels like a concession of, okay, as long as he doesn't kill me, I'm going to win in CS, so I can just take plated steel caps, let him farm to his heart's content, because I'm going to be able to farm as well, and he's not going to be able to kill me.
Cube is going to have to take some action at some point soon. He is down 8 CS, and I think if you're expecting one of the best top laners in the world to go down 8 CS or 9 CS to actually take a win, it's not really going to happen, as you're trading some auto attacks, Cube getting chunked out and forced the Valk away.
Yeah, and I mean, you also do just win trades with plated steel caps, which feels a little bit awful for Cube, because he's down on levels, down on experience, down on CS, hasn't really got a metric going in his favor currently, and at a certain point you kind of just...
Cube's opportunity passed him by quite some time ago.
Yeah, and I think with the Ring of Fire, I guess this really decentivizes backing from here on in, because they're losing out now on the opportunity to do so. Shout out Observers, man, this is really cool.
That's like the Northern Lights of League of Legends, except they're lethal.
yeah, that's actually very accurate. They are obviously on the ground, but here we go. I guess we're gonna fight.
Well,
how close
you're
does
gonna
this
have
get?
to. Well, we'll see. Cube is ready to go. He's gonna Valk on top of 369, burn the barrier, burning ignites.
Trinity
Barrier
Force.
still in the back pocket for 369. Cube is so low, and he will go down. The victory goes to 369, and top. The final pickup is here. This legendary Rengar will get locked in. All right, big fan of this one. Just going to look to assassinate some of these squishies that TES has to offer. This is going to be fun.
So I think
we'll have to back up. First set of Grubs will go over to TES without much of a problem.
And this is exactly right why we...
Tianjun using the thrill of the hunt, trying to leap onto Cream. The shockwave's there, and here comes Kanavi. Tianjun healing up for quite a bit, but he's going to flash for flash, and Kanavi will punt. He is active. Vampire wants to get in, but Karis is just on the other side of the wall right now. Here we go. Vampire going to go in, land the knock-up. They're trying to do as much damage as they can to Cream. Members are so low, and flying over is Kanavi to scare one kill. Big shockwave lands onto 3, and now Tianjun is the next target. He will fall, and now they're going for Taeyu next. He's down 2. Karis, as you mentioned, can't pick up the piece. Over to Vampire when I think they want to turn on to Karis here. There's the shockwave, the paranoia on top of it. Kanavi picks up kill number their feats of strength.
Yep, so really well played. First blood, first turret. The fact that they get one Grub stolen away, not the end of the show, that those two pieces are wherever you try and take the fights.
Now, there's a question I have for you.
I don't think necessarily get faster, but a lot more geared toward this top side of the rift. Crisp is maybe caught.
He's all alone, but Kanavi's got the ball on him. Balmy Blazer! Big shockwave. Crisp will fall, but Cream is in the area. Tianjun ignited.
Yes, his TP will go through, but the turret's going to fall anyway.
Oh,
yeah,
there we go. Okay, there we go.
WE, their hope is that the game doesn't end in the next 10-15 minutes, and that they can get some items on Taeyu and get some items.
What are plans for that?
I would expect so, if that was where they... But we've got a Drake spawning, and now Kanavi's caught.
They're going to chase him down. He's going to turn out the lights, holding the shockwave here, trying to do something. Hit him, couple of members. Crisp will catch Karis, and Jackie Love and Kanavi will be able to clean him up on the backside. It's just a matter of how long it's actually going to take. Kanavi will chop him down. Tianjun will be chased down by Crisp. Cream gets his first of the game.
Very high bounty at this stage on Kanavi's head, but with all of those Grubs as well that spawn out of the Rift Herald, very easy to take down this bot tier 2. Maybe can even look for a little bit extra. How was your driving?
It's looking pretty good here. Bang! Kanavi slams that one right in and is going to spell shield Vampire's knockup, so he'll be able to limp out while his bot lane...
What the enemy carries are going to look like. We've picked 2 immobile AD carries versus Nocturne better. I think that what we can see as well, and I think a bit of an adaptation for some teams, is leaving Atacon up, especially when they're ahead. If you get Atacon buff plus Baron at the same time.
This is the grey one. That's the.
But there's Ruinous and there's Voracious.
Oh, it's Voracious. I'm sorry. Wrong hungry word is Kanavi goes all the way in. Can't quite close out on a kill here as Team WE is trying to do what they can to disrupt TES. Gotta be wary of that Orianna ball as Atacon drops below 6,000 HP. Just trying to get the tether off and have him do as much damage as possible to TES.
This is sapping their resists here. For WE, this might be the best chance they get, but Vampire's been marked.
Yeah, he's off to the side trying to do what he can. JackeyLove a little bit low, but here comes the taunt, and Cube is going to fly in, but he's in a 1v4 right now, and he doesn't have the damage because he's tanked Jace. He's going to get ripped apart as JackeyLove leads the charge. Takes a lot of damage from the Victor.
Spot waves, but just the clinical nature of how top esports are playing this. No minion is going unfarmed. Every piece of CS getting picked up.
Shockwave lands, and Tianjun falls. Vampire.
One of the learning curves for this specific Atacon is recognizing that it's better to throw your life away than it is.
We are sieging down this mid inhibitor turret, and WE just can't get close. Now Vampire is on a flank here, so with his quickness up in about 2 seconds, they might have one good shot here with the Thrill of the Hunt popped as well. Here we go. He's going to try to get on the JackeyLove. He can't. He'll manage to get onto the Orianna. Kanavi into the back line. He'll be sent back into the base as 369 looks to chase away Karis. The ball's on him as well. Cream still has the Shockwave in the back pocket as JackeyLove getting engaged on. But again, Cube just doesn't deal any damage as the inhibitor will fall.
And now Kanavi immediately walking his way back into the team, and for Toppy, effectively a cheat code.
All 369 has Cube locked up near the mid lane as JackeyLove Valkyrie's over the wall, and WE just has to pull back because they're going to take so much damage. Now the lights go out, and the target is there. Varus has fallen. The next one will be Vampire, as TES still has this false life buff. And now the next target is Cube. He's going to go back in to just do a little bit of damage and get the heck out of dodge. TES, the health bars are low, but they got that extra life to play with.
Yeah,
in hot pursuit, but they're not doing anything, and now they're going to turn it around onto Karis. He's been slowed up. He's got the ultimate, and they will be able to take out Chris because, as you mentioned, the buff is gone. 369 goes deep. He'll go down next. Karis picking up a second one, and now JackeyLove going to be the object of their affection. Shockwave dodged out there by Tianjun. Now looking for Kanavi, but Kanavi a tough
to play towards. They're going to head up to that big purple worm. And the beauty of it is that they just don't think they need it, and blatantly they don't.
Well, Tianjun is forced all the way out. Vampire goes in, lands the knockup and taunt onto 2. The lights are out. Let's see what Kanavi's going to do. He goes all the way in, 3-man Shockwave, and the health bars melt. Cube trying to limp away, but he'll go down. A triple kill for Cream, and that should be the exclamation point on the game. TES play a pretty clean one from start to finish, and they'll take a series lead 1-0.
Really excellent performance from Top Esports. Beginning to end, they knew exactly what they needed to do, and for an opening bout in LPL Split 1, I play Vladimir.
That's crazy.
And he thinks he can just scale up, and I think that's a valid thing that you can do as a player if you're going to gut check how this matchup goes. Great, you know, perfect. I think I can take the Vlad here. The Ghost was used, but such is the way the game has gone. But the Lucidity Boots reducing your cooldowns on your summoner spells as well, something that's going to be incredibly valuable for a Vladimir.
Yeah, especially when they're combat impactful too. Everybody loves ghosting around at Mach 5. Let's pretend that, you know, that's not false. As they're going for flashes here. Crisp will get stunned up. He's ignited too. Taeyun is just trying to land those Qs. Vampire knocked away. A couple more auto attacks. JackeyLove cleansed the slow. Nice heads up play there. Tianjun looking to slide his way in. The question is, can they stop them from backing? He's trying to get close. The back is not going to get completed. JackeyLove is stranded under this turret. It's bad news.
Yep, lamb for the slaughter, I'm afraid, and I don't know how far that bot wave is off of coming in, but trying to get JackeyLove out of this situation is not going to be possible.
They got to make a play soon.
Extra kills though.
All right, it's going to be first blood going over to Tianjin. Now the question is, can Kanavi do anything about it? Cream's route wasn't fantastic. It looks like the play will just go to WE.
Yeah, for WE, the Drake going to give 1 mark for top esports as well. So a little trade here to begin with. Obviously, WE find themselves first blood, so a little bit more. With that E, should be able to arcane shift so that the Vi doesn't land on top of you when the channel finishes, and there's not enough support, nobody nearby, even Cream moving down as well.
Yeah, this is going to be tough. Question is, what's going to happen? Ezreal going to be targeted out here. He's going to bury her up, but it's just far too much damage. They managed to get a kill out of it, though, but the bullet time will finish him off. Now it's Karis. What can he do? He'll at least make it a 2-for-2 trade. Fire moving in. As one will be smited away, but the rest of them look like they'll be claimed by Team WE. See if Kanavi really wants to get cheeky and go back in. He's sitting on this blast plant. We'll just take it to move to the side and get it.
Yeah, and at this stage then, it's inconsequential who picks up the final one. Nobody's going to get the feat of strength, but WE will take it for that little bit of extra damage to the turrets that the 5th Grub is going to provide. But already with that sacrifice from top, they're the ones that get to move down to the bot side a little bit quicker. They're the ones that get to set up for this dragon that they've already got one of, that they can maybe look to try and find a second.
See that Kanavi is down here. It's going to be met by Karis in just a moment here. Already just trying to chunk out the jungler here, get him a little low. 369 is now in mini form, but ultimate used by the Vi, and Karis is going to just go between worlds to slide on out of there. They were able to slide in and take this dragon, so they've knotted themselves up at 1 dragon apiece. So, of TES before this Vladimir starts going crazy. As an example, look at this bottom lane play they're going to make onto Karis here. Navi is waiting for Crisp to come through, and they will combo out Karis. It's going to be a kill going to the Vladimir.
And they just lost track of where top esports could be there, unfortunately. There were pings going into the top side jungle of giving these things up. Not the worst thing in the world, but looks like WE, they're going to be fought for.
Oh, JackieLove is stuck in the back of the pit right now. He's going to have to flash over the wall. The Cyclone knockup is there. A nice dodge out. And that just means Crisp is stuck. Here comes the bullet time, but it gets blocked by Brahmin. Now Cream is in the middle of the fight, trying to do something, anything. Kanavi cannot secure, and now he's got to flash away. WE just able to take that fight pretty easily. JackieLove, what happened?
Yeah, WE looks like top esports, though not going to be dissuaded by this. Able to take themselves that top turret, find themselves a little bit of gold to close up that gold gap, and that's certainly something that's again more positive and is something that we
Meganar is flying through, however, he is going to be mini by the time he gets here. Now, TES has to fall back because of the charge on to the mid lane. JackieLove going to bullet time to clear out the wave, clear out the Herald, but this turret is on its last leg. Somebody's got to hit it, and they're going all the way in. Cream trying to do his thing and pump out damage. Karis dies on the backside, but there's plenty of knockups. 369 trying to get in the middle of things. Kanavi to the back line. Cube is tanking damage, but he's got to flash away. And TES comes away with the fight victory and the objective.
Yeah, they lose tier 1, but they do get the Drake, they do get the fight, and now they're going to look to find a tier 1 of their own. Ezreal wave play not really too high, and Cube does not fancy jumping in to take this wave down. Tier 1 for tier 1. Fighting.
Otacon has been started up. 369 is not there yet. Trying to get that Narbar up, but he's got his teleport available. Ezreal goes wide. Otacon down to about 7,000 HP. And here comes the Gnar teleport, and it's a deep flank from the bottom lane. WE has spotted it out, but the question is, can you turn on him? Here's Meganar trying to go in. Taeyun's the one who's caught. They're trying to protect him. Kanavi goes low and goes down, but Cream is ready to do as much damage as he can, but he gets stuffed on the back line, and they walk out of the bullet time. Team WE, a triple kill for Karis.
Yeah, and the Aurora finds 3 in this fight, and that's going to give them this Otacon buff. Unless JackieLove and Crisp can do anything, but no bullet time. Definitely not going to be easy. They're still looking to fish around, looking to contest these double ups off of the neutral itself. Are going to slowly whittle away at WE. They've got no way of getting on top of them.
It's chunking, and we know that Otacon does quite a bit of damage. As long as TES can just stop this, I'm sure they'll be happy. Cube trying to regen, trying to flank onto JackieLove, as you said, but JackieLove spotting that out wisely. This thing is down to about 4,000 HP, and it resets. JackieLove manages to get away with the cleanse, and now the slice, but no dice, as he can't catch JackieLove nor Crisp. But Otacon still alive, down to about 6,000 HP and getting lower. Ezreal comes flying in to chunk out Crisp and JackeyLove, but Crisp once again trying to keep his AD carry
Kanavi
alive.
can steal it.
It's low. Can he take it away? Not quite. It's secured by Cube. And how will the rest of the fight go? Because they have GAs. It goes poorly for JackeyLove as he falls.
Now gets to move back out onto the map with Rabadons and those...
Correct me if I'm wrong, but Kanavi was charging up a Q as well and then flashed, but it ran out. So I believe he is. They're looking to start a fight to take those things off, and already a big double knock up with Karis and JackeyLove in the 1v1, and that's not a fight that JackeyLove is going to win. As he no, maybe it is. Oh, it is, but the false life buff is too strong. Triple knock up from Crisp, but you can't.
Jackie, takes down the Aurora by all means, but only able to get 100 gold for it, and the Aurora is able to go back and defend. Kanavi still alive, still kicking, full HP with
Smite. Teleport top side, but there is a teleport coming in from Karis over to the right of Cream. See how this shakes out as Cream will get spotted by him and immediately chunked out. Here comes 369, trying to make it happen. Knocks 2 to the side. Kanavi gets the kill, but Cube is just trying to run interference because the Baron goes down, and Kanavi is running out of HP. Cream trying to do what he can with his ultimate, trying to chunk out Cube, and he will fall. Look at Tianzen, he's so low, but 369 went mini at the worst time. Cream is able to at least trade out kills, but now where is 369? Can they find him? And they do. Taeyun will claim nearly 400 gold on him. TES get off a couple of Barons, but there are still two. It's probably not going well. I mean, WE is immediately recognizing him as the threat. They're tagging him with the Braum passive. Obviously not in that fight, but in prior fights. Walls under your bed. Question
and now
is,
they're saying,
will the Boogeyman show up?
Well, let's just go straight towards the main.
1,000 HP. Ready to go in here is Kanavi. Here's the target. The bullet time is landing and doing a lot of damage, getting people low. Cube targeted on one side. Tianzen is able to kill Kanavi. The health bars are low. The question is, can they finish off the kills? Tianzen falls. 369 jumping forward, knocking Cube against the wall, and WE does not look like he'll be able to. He's really getting antsy. He wants this, but it's too far away. Soul step up. He's got to play better than what he's been doing. His early game was so good. His game 1 was great. No, JackeyLove's been caught out, and TES runs. A bit of a flank here. About 7,000 HP. Kanavi has finished the recall. TES is in full retreat.
Fancied it a little bit, but decided against it in the end, and now WE walk away with a second Baron of the game in their favor. A lot of gold goes into their back pockets. They've got some good economy there. You could do that on any form of champion. Really solid stuff from the WE support this game around. Now looking to use this Baron. Let's see if they can break open a couple of turrets. Kanavi up on that top side. He's stealing away some camps, but needs to come back to defend his base.
What is he doing up there, man? I don't understand. As WE, the siege is on. I mean, sure, you're unlikely to engage, but you still need to be there just in case. As Taeyun is chunking people out. Yeah,
this turret almost goes down. Got one more cannon minion coming in. As soon as that gets baroned up, you'd like to think that the turret's going to fall. And Vampire, by hook or by crook, leads the charge, takes the turret himself.
I'll do it myself.
Stand behind me, he says, and the rest of the team march forward, take down the inhibitor. WE have taken an inhibitor from our Demacia Cup finalists.
Listen, Team WE, they are playing their hearts out in this game. 35 minutes, a couple of Barons for themselves. Right now, things are looking pretty good. 369, he's done a great job of making sure there's not many waves for WE to play on.
No, that's very true, and I think that for the most part, that's what's keeping WE from just rolling them through with this Baron. They've managed to take down that bot inhibitor, and that's going to be very important. That's obviously something they're going to look to work back on when this Baron spawns once again, but also...
Kanavi to half HP. There's just nothing they can do. They're not grouped up. JackeyLove's in the mid lane, just allowing time for Between Worlds to come back up.
But what's happening on this top deal with a bot wave that is pushing into them. You can see 369 is able to handle that bot wave. Cream was as well.
Tianzen going in with a double knockup. JackeyLove trying to get some space and stay alive. They turn onto Cream. He's alone. He has to pull away. Here comes 369. Does have that Meganar available. Now the question is, will he be able to get in and get a good one off? He's trying to get in. They're grouped up, but not against a wall. Very smart move by WE.
Top use Ghost from Cream, but other than that, and Kanavi's flash.
They're ripping Elder here. And maybe just trying to bait things out. Here comes 369. Big knock to the side. There's the bullet time. It does a lot, but only to one target. Tianzen, though, is very low. The Dragon has reset. That's okay. They've got damage to spare. WE needs to find a way back in. 7,000 HP. Tianjin is ready to go in. The chunks and the damage are happening. Crisp gets to the back line. What's going to happen here? There's the Between Worlds doing a lot of damage. And the Dragon is secured by JackieLove. And the executes are going to start coming through. See you later, Vampire. Blasted away by the Dragons, the Elder Dragon. And now TES is in the driver's seat. Can WE stop this? They have fought so...
If Tianjin picks up that objective, it's Top who are running for the hills. But that wasn't the case. And it's Top Esports that get to now use the duo of Baron and Elder to try and close this game out. And that should be the goal.
Taeyun didn't have that miscue. You know, perhaps we're talking about an entirely different fight. He's going to use that Ezreal, but it's not dealing as much damage as it was before because TES has gotten their items and the siege is on to the Nexus turrets. 369 has been chunked, but he's just fine. Cream is pushing in the mid lane here. WE just trying to keep TES at arm's length.
I've got 30 seconds on the Elder buff still, so Top Esports with plenty of time to try and make things happen. They're teleporting in once again, seeing how many of these inhibitors they can take down, and I think that last-ditch effort, use Crisp, Unbreakable Will, let's go diving!
Cream's gonna walk up, and here's the bullet time, and Vampire's getting eviscerated. Cube's got a flash into the fountain as the first turret's gonna fall. 369 shield procs. There's the Between Worlds trying to get as much damage in as he can, but Tianjin is blasted away. Down go the members of WE as the execute from the Elder Dragon rings true, and TES stay in it, and they managed to take a 2-0 series lead.
The Spire can navigate these fights, navigate any form of success. That's going to be the important thing, as now the Camille versus Aatrox matchup going into that top side. Like I say, maybe they swap these around and Karis plays an Aatrox, but...
WE, you know, you had these nice plays to burn them, but now you have to take advantage somehow. And already, look, they're on to Crisp. Tianjin following up with a flash, and that'll be first blood going over to Vampire. Vampire's still level 3 right now.
Yeah, and he's just trying to survive. Oh, Skewer goes barely wide. These Grubs have already been started up, but no level 6, no ulti for Kanavi. It's Tianjin. Now
Karis has the Fate Seal. They're going to target Kanavi here. Kanavi down, getting low, and will fall. Karis gets that kill. Flying in goes 369. Tianjin goes down. Vampire goes down. Cube is world ending, but his world may end shortly. Karis is trying to distract. He ends up getting Crisp, and now he's stuck in a 2v1.
So that is what happened, and I'm...
Okay.
And it should have done. That's how it should play out.
Okay.
To try and deal with later on. The Ashe as well, definitely something that people should be scared about as you're moving into a later game situation, as Cube actually coming out largely on top on these trades, but little does he know that Kanavi is right here.
Yeah, and Kanavi is quick, and this could be a problem for Cube. Tianjin is there, will stun Kanavi. The knockup will find Cube, but Crisp is on the way to help out. Lands the stun, can't knock up Cube, but 369 is relentless. Now Kanavi on the backside can't get away from Tianjin, but that is okay, because that means that is more kills for 369. He's 3-0.
For them to consider, obviously 2 TP laners, so definitely something that can happen. For the time being,
even in strength, right? So they're going to try to make a play on the bottom side, and then rotate it around. Here we go, 369 trying to hold it, but now he's in a 3v1. Yeah, I don't really see a good end to this. Maybe he's able to do something to Vampire, but they do a good job of keep
Retrix, but not that first item yet. And I think that currently Taeyun probably a little bit stronger as well.
Oh, lands the stun onto Kanavi. The Fate Sealed on top of it as well. Crisp is getting burnt to a crisp. There's the ultimate Stranglethorns coming through. JackieLove will find a kill, and he finds 2 kills. Are you sure this man ain't strong?
Well, maybe when he goes unchecked, Yanni, he's got a little bit of power in his dice that he can throw around as well. Tianjin now in a little bit of trouble as he did manage to steal away one of those Void Grubs, but Taeyun should be looking to try and cut off the escape for JackieLove here.
Oh, knocks him right into those bombs. Tianjin trying to get close.
With the execute that would have happened from the true damage, but not quite enough time there. And like I say, Taeyun just barely able to get out to safety, keeping himself nice.
Turret RTS with 4 members strong. I don't know if they win the race, Rue, dude.
Oh, it's very close. 4 versus 2 Void Grubs.
Oh, no, they're not going to get it. And that means WE will...
is that they get the Yone out of a lane versus a Smolder, which is obviously going to be very winning in 8 lanes.
Flash for flash. They're chasing after Crisp, and Crisp got caught.
Crisp is level 6.
Kanavi gets caught too. He's forced to flash away. Can he get out? The blast cone will not be able to get him out as Vampire.
Chewed through very, very quickly, and now WE managed to break open this mid-tier 1.
That we talked about the pick potential. There's a bit of a fight going on here. A 369 will be able to get out. We haven't really seen JackieLove use that enchanted crystal arrow to start a fight, get a pick, or anything like that.
No, and I'm not sure if that the reason that happens is because your team isn't playing around you, and if that's a product of this mid lane now with no enchanted crystal arrow, their offensive tools a little bit reduced, but with the Ziggs stood there present.
On the side. Keep an eye out. Can't quite land his pull there, but he's going to flash through and get the stun and take down Kanavi, but he's traded back, and Crisp is coming through, leading the charge as the rest of the team is here. The Magnet Storm is there. JackieLove will get the kill and be...
I honestly prefer that. I think this Atacon is far more OP as Champion now in the trouble.
Oh, he is stuck. He's got nobody around to help him, and even 369 has joined the fray, and he'll pick that one up for himself.
Somewhere in his inventory, and that might be the sealing of the deal for his build path.
369 gonna pick up this.
Now seems to be forfeited by Top Esports as we're seeing Karis already started up.
Oh, hang on, they're going hot after Kanavi, and Vampire is in a one-on-one with him on the backside. You're not going to win that one. Kanavi gets the kill as the Dragon has been started up and is very low and is secured by Tianjin, but 369 will not let you escape, Karis, as he goes down.
Working their way towards this Atacon, goes down quickly, but they've got enough people nearby to maybe try and poke around, try and see if they can find a way in.
Doesn't look like that'll be the case, although maybe. It's gone down quite a bit slower, but Tianjin is going to go in and try to steal it away, and he's going to give us life for it too. Not able to get it done.
When you've got this Atacon buff on your side, you should just be constantly looking, constantly hoping that you can get a fight out of this, and whatever turret you're looking for, you should just be forcing. Tricky, and a little bit of miscommunication there maybe on how they wanted to play it out. But this is a fight once again.
Oh, no. What a prediction there by JackieLove, by the way. Predicting that flash. And Vampire falls once again. This is looking like the Vampire of 2024. It's a little tough on the pike when you're starting to be behind as the siege is on here in the bottom lane.
You could just see, look at the type of play that we're seeing from Top Esports. 369 taking 1v2 in the mid lane, just happy to get withdrawn. Cream was flapping underneath that tier 2 turret just to zone away WE. And now, again, no Baron at their backs. They've just got this Atacon, and they're just trying to force it through.
Well, JackieLove is quite low. We'll see how many people get sent back to the base here. Kanavi has gone golden as they're looking to get this kill on Tianjin. He will fall, but so will everybody else on TES, sent back to the base as he manages to get a Baron. Cube not going to be able to do anything. Taeyun trying to get the poke out, but he is the one that's catching the arrow to the face, and he will fall. And
to turn this game around now with the Baron at their backs as well. Sieging, this is more familiar territory for all of our teams. Sieging with a Baron, and Top Esports certainly should be ones that can make the most of it. Wailing away now on this tier 3 in the mid lane. Wave pushing in the top side from Cream.
Stun goes down on the Crisp. He's forced to flash out, but still staying upright as the cannon minion will put in some serious work here. And it feels like it's just so doomed for WE as the Fate sealed onto Cream. He's forced to flash over the wall, but Tianjin chasing after him, but now he's gone too deep. He had no backup, and Cream will kill him. And it's just more deaths, more killing here for TES as Taeyun may be up, but they're just rotating members at this point, and they are looking to siege onto these Nexus turrets. 369 has his teleport available.
Cream is still in the top lane here, pushing in a wave, so they've got a fallback strategy if they need it, but currently using those double super or double cannon creeps to do as much damage as possible.
Oh, JackieLove cleanses nothing. He didn't even have to. He dodged it out, and they just kill Vampire. Another teleport coming in. It's 369 rejoining the party, and the siege is on. He's going to go all the way deep, targeting Taeyun, taking him down. Great play by 369 to put the exclamation point on this series. It's going to be a 3-0 for Top Esports. Did you really expect anything different? As it's now just time to clean up a couple of kills. Pad that, KDA. Oh, unless you're Kanavi. Okay, Kanavi's fine. This turret will fall. It is a 3-0. No!
That is going to find one.
I cursed it, bro.
And Karis, he may yet find 369, but The 3-0 comes through, top esports, as you would have anticipated. A little bit of a knock-on later on in the group if we end up thinking that that's how the group plays out.
Yeah, a little tough for them. And you know what? They had a really, really good start in that game. I thought there was maybe going to be a world where they were able to just keep the ball rolling, keep the pressure on, and you know, as mentioned, you know, break open that game, especially against a team that scaled so well like TES, but it just wasn't meant to be. It felt like after that comment, oh, it just went all wrong for Team WE.
Yeah, pretty immediately, almost. Sort of the quintessential curse that came through. But either way, I think that the WE, they've still got stuff to be proud of, because this game wasn't like Game 1 either. I think Game 1 was clinical from top, and that's maybe what you get in Game 1 of Fearless. You get your true comfort and you get to see what you're after, whereas Games 2 and 3 we got to see something that they're not quite as practiced on, not quite as well versed on, and they didn't know how to fully execute on, but they came away with wins anyway. WE, though, like we mentioned, 2 and 3, they had a lot to say for themselves. They gave what they could give, and it was a lot better than we saw from them in game number 1. So a lot of good wins that they can take morally. Unfortunately, not so many physically on the Rift.
Yeah, Team WE last year finished as the second worst team in the LPL. I have a feeling that's not going to happen this year. You know, this team definitely looked better than, you know, second worst LPL team. And if they happen to be in that bottom 2 and they get cut in the summer, then, oh God, how good the LPL actually is, right? Because if you got teams like them taking top esports, you know, to the limit in game 2 and putting up a fight in game 3, I mean, that means this is going to be a really hotly contested league. So I'm very excited to see what they end up doing next and for the rest of their games in Group A.
Yeah, obviously, you know, they've got some, we'll say, difficult competition still.
For sure.
They've still got to go against AL. I think that the benchmark game for them, unfortunately, is going to be how well they do versus LGD.
That should be a fiesta.
Yeah, I think that to expect anything else between LGD, WE would be insincere to what we've already seen from them. But that matchup of WE versus LGD is going to be very important, as is the top esports versus AL one. If there's any form of upsets between those top 2 and bottom 2, that's when the interesting parts of the group start to come out. But I think for the most part, we now have sort of confirmation. We've got eye tests on all of our teams on what they can do, and we've seen largely everybody meet what we were anticipating.
Yeah, and it's, you know, been pretty good, right? And you know, TES, obviously, it's a little worrisome that they looked so clean in game 1 and did not look as clean in the games that occurred afterward. That is something to really keep in mind. That is like, you know, it makes you scratch your head, right? So, you know, we've seen everybody except for 3 teams. We haven't seen IG, NIP, or JDG yet, which I'm really excited to see them next week, as the first match of next week, I believe, is IG versus NIP, which should be a banger. That'll be tomorrow. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I think that the return of Doinby is something, obviously, that is going to be quite exciting. Obviously, IG had, we'll call it an early exit from the Demacia Cup, but they drew top. So somebody had to take that early exit, unfortunately. So I think that with the way the LPL has sort of fleshed out its teams, we could very easily have like a very competitive top 5, top 6, and that means that 2 of those teams don't make it to a semi-final, and at some stage during the quarters there's going to be a heavy hit, a really big showdown that unfortunately IG fell out of in Demacia Cup. Coming into Split 1, they're going to have to try and assert themselves, obviously, as leaders of their group, to see if they can still make it to where we expect them to be there. But NIP come in as definitely no slouches either.
I still think that IG and NIP will be the ones to get out of that group, but hey, listen, RNG might have something to say about that. You know, we'll see what the case is. I still think that, you know, the closest group right now is probably this Group C, right? I think that unfortunately LNG losing to ThunderTalk will actually really set them back, because I don't think they can beat BLG, to be honest with you. But that one is certainly like a whoa. That's a big shock. As there's a couple of really good teams here. So we can take a look at the post-game graph. I mean, look at that damage spread on TES, man. It's a thing of beauty.
That's what you love to see when you draft 4 carries, is that you get 4 carries worth of damage out of the game. Yeah, exactly.
Everybody eats.
The gold graph as well gives us a little bit of a glimpse as to the fact that this wasn't just another steamroll from Top Esports, but what it does give you is that when they got the lead in this game, they actually didn't really let it go. There was a little bit of time, 5 minutes in, great small advantages that come from laning, but once they got it at like that 22-minute marker, they just absolutely ran home with it.
Yeah, I think that gold graph shows one really, really important thing. When the gold graph was blue, WE was winning. When it was red, well, that's when JackeyLove started using his arrows and they started getting picks. Coincidence? I think not.
No, I also think not. And I also think that the time when they took the Atacon as well, that might have some little overlap in there.
Pisha, Atacon? What's an Atacon, man? No, that thing is...
I'm from season 14. What is this word?
Disgustingly broken, bro. All right. Let me ask you. What do you think they're gonna do? Do you think they're gonna? I think they're already slated to make some changes, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think the way I would go about it. Obviously, your boy is not Riot Balance team. Just the way I can conceive it being, let's say, weakened is, first of all, and I think this has been talked about, is that they're going to make it appear less frequently. So the threshold for the amount of fighting that needs to have happened is going to go down slightly. It appears less frequently, basically. But also, I would make the buff weaker. Like, the buff that you get from it is so obnoxious. Like, it's 2 minutes of GA. I think you can half that.
It's 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, so it's a long time. You can probably half that, and it'd be fine. And then that's where I would start and see how it felt after that.
You know what? I'm with you on that. I can agree. Maybe knock it down to like 2 minutes, but that might even be a little too long. All right, let's cast our votes for player of the game. Listen, you got a lot of good options here. Although the damage share doesn't support it, I'm really a JackeyLove proponent of this game. Although I will say, Crisp went pretty under the radar that game, but I also thought had a pretty good game.
Yeah, I think you can. I don't have a firm argument for anyone, so I think you can give it to anyone.
I'm with you.
Is this was a team-wide? Okay, we all did relatively well. So
the team gets the player of the game.
Yeah, you could go JackeyLove, you could go Crisp. It feels like either of those two feel right. Feels like Kanavi was farming quite well, but was also the one that was getting slightly caught out. But then again, the way he was getting caught out, he never actually died all that frequently, so it's kind of...
Oh, I don't know, man. He was 1-4-4 at one point, bro.
Well,
not my MVP. Not
your MVP. Okay, so maybe not Kanavi, but like the bot lane, I think, is where we've landed on. Somewhere in the bot lane.
I'm staking my claim on JackeyLove because, listen, it supports what I just said about the gold graph, right? It's before arrows, after arrows, right?
True. I'll take Crisp then. I'll take Crisp.
Okay. You know what? That's totally fine. Oh my god, I hope one of us is right, dude. We're gonna look so dumb if it's like, congratulations. I mean, 369 could have gotten it too. Wait a minute. We forgot that dude was 4-1. Oh,
yeah, I mean, not a bad
I think we messed up. I think we messed up, bro.
Well, we had to leave somebody out. 369. He can't get two.
Well, we already left Kanavi out.
He was intentionally left out. That was an accepted L from Kanavi. Shouldn't have picked Zyra into a Sejuani or blinded Zyra.
No, I mean, it ended up working out, right? They got the W. He was certainly relevant.
But he didn't get the player of the game, Yanni. He didn't get the player of the game. Not in our hearts.
Yeah, it's not Ooh, got a spoiler in our chat.
I'm not looking. I'm not looking. I'm
gonna
get the full reveal.
Okay, yeah, no worries. Yes!
Oh, okay. I lose.
Bro went 5-0 and 11. I actually didn't even look at his stat line. That's crazy work.
All right. Well, no deaths is what I like to see on AD carries. So we'll allow it.
Especially on Nash.
Yeah, immobile little AD carry can be difficult to stay alive.
Yeah, it is. It was incredibly difficult to deal with that, but guess what? Yone wasn't really even in his zip code for most of the game, right?
No, that's true.
It was really difficult for him to try and chase down and get there, and just could not get the job done. So, really good stuff coming out of the side of JackeyLove. And really, are you surprised because of how good JackeyLove is, man? I mean, this guy is just incredible, right?
Not at all.
Phenomenal player. We love to see him.
Absolutely. Should we say start to finish? I think start to finish, this guy was pretty good this series. I mean, game number 1 was clinical from everybody. He didn't really need to do anything in game number 1.
Game 2, listen, he got caught out that one point, but he brought it back.
Did get caught out, but he did end up doing a lot of work in the team fights later on as well. And then game 3 got player of the game. So, yeah, sure, I'll allow it. Start to finish, good stuff.
Yeah, let's do it. Well, that is it for us here tonight with LPL English, but we do have more LPL action coming because guess what? They play every single day of the week. And this upcoming week, they're going to play twice in one day. But we're getting a little bit too ahead of ourselves there, as tomorrow it'll be IG versus NIP. Rude, you're on the cast for that one. I believe you're with Mazel. Hell yeah, brother. I hope you enjoy that series and you'll be eating good, my friends. We also want to give a big shout out to our elite Ko-Fi supporter, Aaron Superus. If you want to
lands on top of a crash down from the Rel, a Magnet Storm, you have so much power in getting those empowerments on the Victor whenever he gets a takedown.
It looks like he can be annoying for Sheo here.
Adam chasing out his former jungler. All those years of missed ganks, just doesn't want to let him get this Grump. Sheo does have the smite, but it's only 600 HP right now. Judgment out from Adam reduces the CC a little bit, but Carlson going all out as Adam has to flash away. No ghost on him on this Garen. Sheo falling low. Oh, the Demacian Justice not quite enough to kill off Sheo, and now Adam is left with no place to go. First blood. Favorite puns I've been using in my games over the offseason. While we see Grubs being taken by Sheo, that will be his first third of that foot.
Right.
Is if you take a dragon to get the final neutral, and it gives you feats of strength, you're getting a dragon soul.
Because the soul of a shoe.
Yeah.
The soul, right.
Thanks for explaining the joke. That makes it so much better for the audience.
Yeah. I mean, that's the level of comedy that I thought that it was at. So I see that you're starting the strong, lovely and strong.
You'll have a numbers advantage with Rogue going for that Drake. There will be 2 neutrals exchanged in the early game between these 2 teams.
I am a little surprised. I would think that with a Varus, you'd have a little bit more power in the early game, especially with the Garen as well.
But you got enough CC that you can just lay it on top of the initial dive in by Sten. Misses the shattering strike. Adam looking for the flank down towards the bottom side. Has just TP back in. The Drake at 8,000. Patrick trying to poke Adam. Immediately collapsed on Nature's Grass coming out, but Camilo is the one who's caught. Gets rooted up for a second, has to be cleansed away, and now Adam is all on his lonesome. He flashes away. Rogue trying to restart the Dragon. Is down to 2,000, and it is secured by Rogue. Sten not, but Adam already chunking his way through this tower. The wave almost cleared away. The backdoor bonus. Adam, another auto's gonna be enough. Rogue get the feed.
Secure that objective. So the Triumphant boots are what you're going to see now, the small upgrades that will just be applied, and then the ability to upgrade those boots later on into the game for Patrick. And we may even see Swifties come out for Larson in the near future. But Swifties in general, pretty good. Also, it looks like early Void Staff for Larson, which I also love to see when it's a front-to-back style of team fight, and you can already see heavy magic-resistant investment on the side of Heretics. Void Staff just gains a lot of value getting it early.
And the gold lead that has had for a lot of this early game was in the top lane. Now Adam has actually taken a lead for himself. There's about 230 gold for Flackett over Patrick, but nothing too monumental. Looking for this. Rift Herald is going to be placed in the mid lane. Sten's still on that flank position. Carlson TP's back into the fight. 8,000 on the Drake. Sten goes in, but Execute with a great knockback immediately disengages Sten. However, Larson's being chased out by that Chaos Storm. Execute on the front line, knocked back into Heretics. They find their second of the game, and Rogue are walking away wounded. Malrang still looking for the steal. If he can get in, almost gets there in time to steal it. Carson with the knockback. Sten looking for the flank once again. Adam having to flash away. At least one at the moment on Carson. They'll take the top tier 1. This allows them to push through top a little bit easier. They don't have someone they can, like if the jungler was a Wukong or something, you could just send him to the Drake, say, hey, start that up, see if you can take it by yourself.
From Rogue.
Remember, if they get this Voracious Atakan, they then get a false life, basically a fake GA. Carlson's coming around the corner. He's going to check it, but he doesn't have Smite, and Malorang does. Voracious at the river. Sten trying to step forward. Patrick tanking a couple of shots from the Baron there, down to about half HP. Carlson looking for the engage. Adam chasing Flackett out. Carlson has to back away. Execute goes in. Chain of Grump's going to land on Carlson, and immediately he's knocked back. Execute lives up to his name and takes one. Adam's going to withdraw with that GA, but Flackett's low as well, and Malorang's chasing him over the wall. Knocks him back. Patrick takes him. Now Camilo is in for a world of hurt. A shutdown.
Worried, but the reality is that the damage that they're able to do, as long as it's enough to force them back, Rogue can come back out onto the map and immediately force another Baron. They end up winning the fights. They end up securing the...
About a quarter left on that false life. They'll push in with the Baron buff as well. Can play across 2 different lanes. Carlson just trying to stay out of range of exactly what he'll use, as Heretics have to back away. Sheo is caught up, but that tower very quickly falling to Patrick and Larson. The tier 3 falls in the top lane. Adam's going to get... Larson's upgraded his boots as well into whatever the Sorky upgrades were. Spellslinger's shoes. So they have all of this extra move
to do. Face checking Adam. He's incredibly dangerous. Look at the position of Maorang.
Maorang is in prime position here. Immediately jumps onto KazaLoLL. They're going to knock him back as well. And even with the crash down, KazaLoLL falls to Demacian Justice. Patrick pulls off from the Drake. Chain of Corruption just going wide, but already the jungler from Heretics is down. And can they find anything out of this fight? Flackhead unable to really get in there. Maorang is down to a 3rd HP, but he'll heal up off the Drake. That will be Soul for Rogue.
A fantastic flank there from Maorang, lying in wait, one with the bushes, and is able to lock down KazaLoLL. Team Heretics are looking to get control, but Adam on the flank.
Maorang as well, looking for that Nature's Grasp. Immediately they jump to Carson. Look how far away KazaLoLL is from this fight. Now he can start to walk back, but Larson and Execute good enough to be bouncers here. Sten's still looking for that flank, but even though you get the stun and the crash down, Adam just spins away from it, play baiting his way to victory. Execute goes back in with his ultimate, and extra tankiness enough to get Rogue out with the Baron. Sten still looking for that flank. Flackhead, you know, you could dive over the wall here. You hear the voices telling him to go. Sten went in, he'll dash back out as Heretics is it away. There's a wave pushing in mid. Top wave not quite in the right position for Rogue right now, still too far away from that inhibitor to do too much. Flackhead trying to clear the wave out, but Adam just raises the tower. It's a bulldozer in a previous life, it seems, as Rogue continue to step forward. Heretics 5v4 right now, but the threat of Adam just spinning towards their backline if they ever look for the engage, ever looming.
I feel like Rogue is way more cautious than they need to be. I guess they're relying on the fact that Adam can't be dealt with, so they're just allowing him to split push and pick away at these inhibitors. They've still got 45 seconds left on the Baron. I feel like they can just force a fight whenever they want.
But they don't need to is the important thing. They can just wait for Adam to take top in him, to take mid
ball.
in him. Execute, stepping forward, looking for Shale, already down to half HP. Patrick going forward as well. Execute, lands a 3-man knock-up into the shockwave. And that's what they were waiting for. Rogue finds 2 immediately. Carlson walking back to the fountain, just trying to get himself healed up. Execute, still alive somehow. Double inhibs down, Maorang flashes in with the engage. And Flackhead goes pop. TP coming back in from Adam, back to full HP. And Rogue might not need the 3 inhibs to win the game. Adam chases in, KazaLoLL has no escape. Carlson the last man standing. And it looks like Rogue are gonna open up their account with a big fat W here as they take down Heretics in the first game of LEC Winter.
Slow, steady, and methodical. Azir plus Jinx is something we used to see a lot of, like that very long-range front-to-back style comp, but I think MF gives you a little bit more raw power in the mid-game, just because on that first item spike, thanks to her ultimate, you just have so much more agency, and we think about how valuable Maokai is in the meta, but duo lane, get enough XP back, quickly address the bot lane and turn it into a 2v4.
Okay, it's just a chunk. Hilly using Aftershock there to tank tower shot because towers are a lot stronger now. I was very worried that they were just looking for a full-on dive there on Irrelevant. 113 is in the area. Kazi takes a tower shot himself as well. Irrelevant's going to get knocked back here. 113 going in. The pulverize from Hylissang was too early. Chased over by 113. Lynxus is in the area. Can he get close enough to save his Alistair? The answer is a resounding no. BDS on the board as Irrelevant picks up. Ice is running down towards the bottom side. They can look to try and steal away one. Remember, to get a feat of strength, one of the neutrals, you need to get all 3 grubs from a camp. So even if 113 can just poke his head in, get one smite down here, doesn't quite get that one. Vitality now forced away, but BDS able to put enough pressure down that they will stop.
For BDS, they get themselves the first dragon of the game. They denied the entirety of the first grubs. They also...
So there's a ward in that Tribush from BDS that makes them safe as houses. Paris is going to step up. Hylissang stunned, only level 5 right now. 113 coming in, and there's the bullet time. Hilly oversteps for the second time this game, and BDS immediately pounce. Root Caller coming out. Good block from Paris. He'll burn his flash to get away, but he saves his AD carry summon of when 113 now walks across towards them.
Be a big objective secure. You'll notice that Vitality investing on the bot side of the map, threatening the dive, set their sights on the tower place instead, recognizing, hey, we might not be strong enough to fight them this early on. Renekton is a very scary opponent to have to go up against. They'll concede them for now.
Oh, TP behind here.
Here we go.
Harvest looking for Irrelevant coming in as well. Kazi, Valkyries and flashes away. Hylissang gets the knockback. Lynxus here to join the party. Irrelevant still chasing Kazi down. The redemption coming out. Kazi healing up just in time. Another auto from the Croc would have spelled his doom. Irrelevant down to 100 HP, and Chayak is the first to move from mid. Irrelevant falls, bullet time opens up, but Paris knocked up by Daisy and knocked down by Kazi.
A nice idea from
Redemption back up for Linsus as well. No summoners really for Vitality, apart from Hillisang, who has his flash. He's locked up. Unbreakable Will not available yet, so he has to burn the flash. Just enough health with that shield from the Ivan to stay alive.
Well, that'll do it.
Yeah, yeah.
Kazi
though, just trading onto Ice. Remember, Ice only has cleanse here, right? He's trying to get out of the root caller, he's trying to get out of the stuns, doesn't have that barrier. So can't really trade too aggressively when Kazi's in a position he can jump forward.
It's going to be the feats of strength, Medic.
It is.
That's 3 objectives now secured. 2 dragons and grubs.
Have already secured them. Naknako should be able to, almost takes it. Emperor's Divide comes back though. Naknako still takes the tower. Does have the flash, will dash across the wall. 1-1-3 going wide with the Arctic Assault. Naknako still trying to survive, lands the Counter-Strike, but only onto Paris. And the Glacial Prison.
At mid-tower, Azir can be extremely obnoxious to siege against. This objective secured.
Bank off here. Hillisang has been waiting. Linsa's coming across as well. 1-1-3. Arctic Assault's forward, stunned up by the Unraveled Earth. Knocked back, TP's coming in from both sides. Hillisang with a 2-man pulverize. Ice looking to open up with the bullet time. Hillisang down to about half HP. Irrelevant joins fray. And Naknako is in the midst of 5 members of BDS. The diving from Paris. There's the bullet time as well. But Paris will be the first to fall, taken out by Chayak. Kazi joins the party and forces BDS away.
Hillisang and Naknako buy so much time. Chayak rejoins the fray, looking for a bit of action, but he's not able to find it. The Herald going to be dropped into bot lane to secure that objective. Should open up the Dragon for Vitality as well. But ultimately another one skirmish from Vitality, and it's ultimately a matter of BDS turn all their attention onto Naknako in the fight.
Oh, he overstepped. He thought he was safe because no one jumped out of the bush, and now his team are already on the Drake, and BDS realize, well, we've got another man. Perhaps we can fight this. Ice coming in from their side. Linsons and Kasi forced away. Hillisang trying to join up with his AD carry and jungler. Root caller eaten by 1-1-3. Kazi still putting some damage down. Paris here to join the battle. Naknako up in 20 seconds, but no TP on him will make it very difficult for him to join this fight. Seismic shove on 1-1-3, the ignite ticking as well. 1-1-3 falls to Hilly. Nuke dives in with the Emperor's Divide. It's only Hilly who falls first. Now it's a 3v3, but another great seismic shove.
Dragon of the game.
Chayak is having a stormer here on the LEC stage. 3-0-2. Beating out Nuke in a lot of these battles. We'll have another look at the play, because at this point you think BDS can take the fight.
But it's still a 3v3. They don't actually have the numbers advantage yet. They're being chipped away at by Kazi.
For him, Flash is really across the board. Only Naknako has one to his name. Vitality going to try and answer it. There's the Weaver's Wall. Chayak comes down on the right side of it. Seismic shove with the knockback. Hillisang with the follow-up. Naknako here to join. A little bit more action, jumps across the wall. Irrelevant getting chipped away at, and Irrelevant will fall first. Seismic shove going wide, the bullet time opens up, but that's some very tanky members that Ice is trying to rattle through. Paris Hex Flash.
They're going to have that advantage. Irrelevant now has to put a lot of pressure onto Naknako to stop him getting involved.
I feel like Irrelevant is saying, I want you here, and my team will play without me. Hillisang goes in, only onto 1-1-3. He's knocked back with the Seismic shove, though, and has to flash away. Glacial Prism hits on Kazi, but he immediately cleanses it away, and already BDS have lost one. Vitality looking for more. The Weaver's Wall in from Chayak. Paris has to dodge to the sides of the Seismic shove, but dashes back in. No hope left for him, and the bullet time doesn't do much. Hillisang with a knockback. The pulverized missed, but he got the knockback, guys, okay? It's the thought that counts as the root caller hits onto Nuke. He tries to put the damage back down onto Chayak, who's healed up with the redemption.
Hey, I mean, it's Hilly, man. It's Hilly.
You don't know where Ice was. Maybe he was near the tower. It was blind, lads, okay?
That's going to unlock Atakan for Vitality, their first of the split. And again, just great mechanics, great patient play for Vitality. Here we go, more action on the map.
Say what you want about Atakan, but it definitely makes the teams fight. Nuke still has that Emperor's Divide, has the flash. Irrelevant trying to step forward. Dominus about to come back off cooldown for him. TP coming in from Naknako as well as he joins the Barney. Atakan's patience might expire. Throws out a few bolts. Remember, if you're tanking Atakan, your armor and magic resist is shredded as well, up to 50 of each. So even if you have a good tank like Hillisang here or Linsa's putting the shields on you, you are going to take quite a lot of damage. Vitality getting control through the bot side here. Daisy poking her nose in, seeing what's happening with this Drake. It looks like BDS will secure the Dragon. Will they just give up afterwards? Irrelevant slices away from Naknako's engaged. Chayak, though, has caught Paris, who will crash down to safety. Hillisang now rejoining the battle. BDS look to gain mid control. Hillersang goes in onto 1-1-3. The Weaver's wall will separate the two. Nuke has to flash the seismic shove, and now Nako going in with the counter-strike. Emperor's Divide being put down. Irrelevant tries to dive onto the backline, but they just don't do the damage. Kazi able to get away. Magnet Storm on the backline as well, but there's so much shielding, and there's so much healing coming out from Linces. Paris is able to kill off Hillersang, but in the end, Ward in the back of the pit is spotting that bound for now. Nako coming around the corner. BDS will know he's at least in the area, trading with Irrelevant, goes in with the counter-strike, might have to dash back out to a teammate. Hillersang there, bullet time coming in as well as the Baron falls down to 1000 HP! Linces flashes forward to secure the Baron. Paris goes in with the Magnet Storm as well. Hillersang's able to kill off his enemy support. Irrelevant's Sterex gauge is popped. Will they be able to dash out of the back of the pit? Vitality will take the 1-for-1. 1-1-3 doesn't have a way to go, nor does Irrelevant. It seems locked up. 3 kills in exchange for 1. A Baron as well for Vitality, and they're looking for a little bit more. Chayak going for more. The seismic shove hits on Nuke. What can this man not do? Chayak.
He's fighting off against Irrelevant and Ice, and he gets locked up. The bullet time does so much damage, and the Baron was so low. But you'll notice that 1-1-3 gets knocked out of the pit. He gets stunned by Chayek's.
Unraveled.
Unraveled word is the word I was looking for.
100 seconds or so. They'll push in for the tier 2 in mid.
They should just die.
Yeah, just go. Just go for the tier 3. Just go for it. You've got Dawn Core as well on the Ivan, an incredibly powerful item when you can get that extra healing and shielding. And BDS realize, well, they can just go, so we're just going to go back to our fountain. Back off. The wave's pushing in bots as well as Vitality crack open the base of BDS. They're looking to open up a tier 3 in the bot lane as well. The tier 2 already fallen. And they have Chayak and Nako escorting the way forward. BDS force all the way back to their Nexus towers right now as Vitality take 2 inhibitors off the push. You might as well dive it, Betty.
Yeah, why not? Just dive it. You've still got the GA available. You really don't get punished for losing your life, and you're going to immediately respawn. Hilly's looking for it.
He's just walking forward. Counter-strike coming out from Nako as well. They're just going for the chip damage right now on the Nexus towers.
Just dive him, Hilly. This is what you've been waiting for. Your career has built up to this point.
Hilly, up here, there's some space that needs to be made, okay? You have to create some space, and he does it. He dives in, looks for the fight. Paris goes in with the Riddick gauge. Bullet time coming out. Remember, if Vitality die, they will just come straight back to life. But BDS do not have that same luxury. Nako can TP back in. Vitality still have 3 GAs on their shoulders, and the Nexus is open. Nuke chipped away, he dies. The Emperor's Divide does not save him. Vitality crack open the base and crack the heads of BDS as they claim their
front line when you've already got the Jace and the Galio there and the Zinzel. I don't think you really need more front line here, just something to enable the Jinx would, in my eyes, work out better, but they're going to go...
Last year, while Jax was so popular, it's because he couldn't survive. You're right. Sustainability there. Jace doesn't have the same thing, and at level 2, Genax is in so much trouble. He's twisted advance, he's ignited as well. He flashes out, but he's right in the line of fire of Noah as Jun tanks up the last turret shot, but Noah needs one more. Genax close to leveling up. The Mystic shot missing Noah.
Yeah, Noah using the TP to get back up to the top side, opting into that, knowing they're going to go in towards the lane swap. Closer steals away one of the Grubs, which means that if Isma can get one, neither side can claim this towards their feats of strength. You have to get all 3 Grubs if you want that to count.
They've got their shoes on at the very least. And how they walk towards it is their question. As Smite comes through, Isma steals it, you're right, but now the duel begins. Isma looking for the knock-up and finds it. Only level 5 as we get a bit of damage down the bot side as well, but Close is a real one in trouble. He's got concussive blows, he flashes, he gets bursted, but he survives, walking out with the flash down in tow, with now another Grub to seal the deal for Isma.
Yeah, Isma didn't get the flash over the wall, so wasn't able to follow up for that final auto attack proc, but still, SK going to be happy that they're able to force Giant X back and keep themselves in check. Still, it's mid lane to open up both sides where you can now play for mid, but also take over control towards...
Part 2, wow, true shot barrage and everything in the kitchen sink hitting. Jun gets the kill off the ignite, but Giant X, no fear in the dive as we look towards the bottom side. SK want to replicate and they get the stun up with the concussive blows, but Rika doesn't have enough health to dive, nor his flash.
But he's nearly level 6, one more creep, and Rahel should be able to hit it. There it is. Does he use the ult to stop it?
Zap at least cancels for Lot, making him scared, but they need a bit of extra damage to get the execute.
Yeah, still look at Jackie's though. He's starting to move down to try and cover this Lot. Going to see if he can defend the tower, but it's so low.
as it burns down. The Grub's helping out. Winter's Bite trying to get extra damage onto Lot. All it would take is Rahel to get a rocket down. And
he's going to get excited.
He will be dead, and I think I will too, Dagda, because the Giant is top laner. He's playing on a knife's edge. There it is! You know what? We won't take the Lot because he's now dead.
Bot lane is nowhere to be found. The ults have already been used, so you're only going to give the kills across here.
Rika taking a bit of damage, but it's AP damage. Galio doesn't mind, but Jun's still angling through. You're right, we look for the Jace. He's flown through with a taxi driving as Isma sets up for the hero's entrance, and now for Giant, they freeze the stream! But do they get further out? They run for their lives as the range still comes through from Genex, but on the back end, I'm looking at closer. In trouble, and down. Still not taken, but SK will pull this one up, and the feat of strength at least one step closer here as they lock it. Lot is walking in. At the very least, I see he walks out. He's got a mana bar, but doesn't want to use it. Instead, pushes the wave and just gives SK full reign here. True Shot Barrage, that's just going to help out with the leash. So one small feat of strength added here as SK move to fight.
Yeah, I thought we'd actually slow this game down, or else SK could get to run with Aves.
And again, it just seems breezy after what we saw for the dives as Hextech Drake goes down, and yoink, you'll take that. We just wait for one more to be locked on in here as SK, they defend top. Giant are looking for a dive here, Dagda, and I'm not sure how it's going to go with a Brom on the way.
Exactly. You've got Isma in the vicinity. TP to try and help.
A Galio, so he's going to taunt you. Lot doesn't get the stun off. It looks messy, and I don't like mess as Lot takes a turret shot. It ramped up, but he's not dead for now. Isma trying to pick apart the pieces.
Yeah, they can continue to chase here. Isma has the flash. Can he land?
Well, there's enough damage going onto Jackie's. There's a Glacial Fissure knocked into the air. The Winds of Water help out, and Jackie's in trouble, but they've run out of their burst. Still, an audacious charge, maybe too ambitious. Flushing away is Isma SK. Are they going too far now is the question. As Jun takes down the jungler, Giant X chasing for more, bringing the teleport up as well, and Lot is now ready for his own Counter-Strike. That missed.
By many different top teams as to how they want to try and play around this stuff. You look at like BLG, they're playing more for side lanes. Yeah. Whereas when you look at a team like Gen G, they've been playing a huge amount of we want to play off of our AD carry in mid. And it looks like SK have been watching the Gen G VODs for this one, and it's working out for them.
And that's why we might see second item come through, which has been common. Something like the Hullbreaker. I just want to point out the map though quickly. SK have just moved, opened up mid on Giant X resetting, and now get top turret as well. I mean, I'm not going to say max.
Just try and force Giant X to face check you at any point in time. So, well, Jackie's.
He is a tank, but let's find out. He flashes, gets out of the static field, but still has enough to stick on Jackie's and slow him down. That damage unheard of, but unending despair seems to be what Jackie's going through. Wind becomes lightning, and he's close to dying. Slowed down yet again. The sticking power huge, but the rocket dodged by Jackie's a good step up, and he flashes the emote.
Yeah, as you can see, Jace has a Doran's Blade, therefore he's allowed to do that much damage. Yeah,
right.
So, the problem is Jace's base stats, he's like 310 damage on just his Q alone at base level. Before you add in any sort of like scaling or anything like that, his W does a ton of percentage max health. His E is also an execute. So like a lot of
Dead by a Rahel. So no Hullbreaker build. It is just a Jinx.
I'm fine with that, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I am too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of tanks, as you said, on this roster.
So the thing is, I'm curious, being in protest, that they might have to play mages in the bottom lane again. Like we heard Jack Spectre talk about earlier. It's like, I'm so annoyed I'm going to build tank items on my Jinx AD carry second item. Because for anyone who doesn't know, there was an LPL player that ended up building Hullbreaker second item on Jinx after the Kraken Slayer. Did all right. But you know what? Maybe you just stick to crit. Yeah.
Got Hullbreaker with his Herald charges here, by the way. It's going to go for the next. And ambitious, no. Isma just aggressive. Ulti's out, turns it into a play against Noah. He gets the bare brunt of it as Nature's Grasp will fly across. It gets a double root, but there's the lockdown by Jun. It's good setup, but the return here for Giant X might hurt them. SK separated for the time being. Jackie's is doing that with his Chaos Storm, getting Rahel the hell out of the way. Giant X have
Dragon fight, but it's only kind of one for them, so I think SK can give it across. But I think when you have a moment like this in a game that's running away from you, just getting an objective off the map is never a bad thing, but SK...
Lot TP'd in, he's got a Counter-Strike on their carry, that's their only source of damage, so SK need to keep Rahel alive. Isma's going to be the target though, because he's easy access. Giant X lured them in with a two-man Magnet Storm, they've lured them down, and Giant X are now pummeling them into the ground. A double with Nature's Grasp trying to bring yet another into fruition, as Jackie's damage hits hard, and now Lot on top of Rika's going to remind him where he came from. A shutdown.
Cleanse, but it just means that when Jackie's comes forward here, great call on the flash. So Jun interrupts Reeker on that potential ultimate, and Jackie sees.
Fair enough.
I'm pretty sure Medic nailed that in his cast earlier. Now I'm never going to hear the
flash twist advance. Rahel was too far forward. Nature's Grasp beautiful as well. Closer again. He's happy to send it. He's got the false life. Big shout out to Dagda for looking that up as Giant X still pushing forward. No, it takes a turret shot or two. Even ease into a Winter's Bite as Lot is now looking for a turret of his own.
Yeah, you're going to be facing off against Gen X Noah. Oh, Isma would have loved to get that.
Especially with Atakan buff. You use Chrono Shift, and then you have the other GA as well. You just have like 9 lives. 3 to be specific, we all know.
Add a Renata into the mix as well.
Oh, yeah. Chrono Shift would be nice here, but maybe Jackie doesn't need it. Rika takes a big damage, and Jackie's got the mana bar to work with to play this around, but Isma has converged on him. It's now just about the wave, and he'll go back to base.
Yeah, unlucky to get caught in that position, because honestly, it still sends you back as your team's trying to push out of the map, and you still want to get value for these objectives. Like, they are getting Dragon, maybe looking for the dive here as well.
This is value. True Shot Barrage. Lot is still got a turret underneath. Jun will tank it up for now. And yeah, they just, I guess.
You're not really getting value, right? Like, you don't get the tower. They already were going to get the Dragon off of a fight, right? But, oh, now they're going for it.
Rika's looking. I mean, GA has just expired, so this is a fair fight. But Jun with the re-engage, crash down, not connecting. But Lot's TP'd in. Chucky's is TP'd in on the team. And now, stunned up, Rika has nowhere to go. Isma's in the middle of the fight, but for Giant X, their front line is tanky enough. The damage as well, falling behind the wayside. Gen X running for his life. Loopy not far behind him. And Rahel, the one damage source, is dead like a dodo.
Noah snipes Rahel, and Noah trying to get back in. Making sure he's okay. Loopy's very far forward, though.
Spot is great. He gets a double counter-strike, and he pulls out the ult of Isma. For someone debuting the LEC, he's looking confident. And with the rest of Giant X cleaning up now SK, they've got no chance. Another one bites the dust, and Gen X gets hit against the wall. Lot is unstoppable. I think he's going to be taking a lot more with the rest of this game.
Reeker just wasn't in space with the ultimate, and it means immediately Giant X are able to get members. Even, again, Jackie's just poking down Rahel under the tower. Means that you cannot contest this as SK. Giant X, I said in the podcast, I said at the start of this, it was their mid-game I wanted to see them improve on. Well, this has been a damn better mid-game than we saw from them last year.
It's been clean from that point onwards. Giant X can take Baron now as well. No contest. Lot in the enemy jungle. I would like to say the same thing, but Isma spots him out. Reek is there as well. These are tanks, and it's going to take a while as the rocket is going to be blocked by Jun. Great heads up from Giant X as Lot has to ulti to try and get out. Jackie's is on the way. He's got enough for a counter-strike in the mana bar, but now he's running out. There's Winter's Bite, there's concussive blows, but there's a gravity field that's making it difficult to move. Lot still dies. It's a shutdown to Loopy, unfortunately for SK, but there's no top laner for 55 seconds.
There is no top lane turret for SK either. Noah's been working away through that after picking up the Baron too, so nicely done by Noah.
For you, isn't it? It would be the third Dragon for SK, a way back into this game that's falling so far to the wayside. Nature's Grasp hits 3 members of the front line. True Shot Barrage is a whiff at 4K. Rika is spotted on a minion, spotted on a ward, but he doesn't need to come in, just the threat. The Glacial Fisher down after Dragon goes in, but Jun with a 3-man Magnet Storm and a hero's entrance at that hits nothing. Rika's now into the front lines of damage, but SK have still taken down and given a reset over to Rahel. But look at those health bars. Closer in, Twisted Advance, finds that damage source, hits a blast cone. Rahel running for his life. He's the only chance, but Jackie's knows that too. Another rampage, another kill, another hit for Lot. And Gen X now running behind his own enemy lines. Noah is chasing this up, zoning between 2 turrets. But Giant X, it feels like the wallet diff really made a difference in the end.
Reeker's ultimate brought so much space to that fight for Rahel, but it just wasn't enough. They get 1 kill, but Giant X, the second that pause is over, they're straight back into the fight. The bell rings and it's SK that drop immediately.
I think it'd be much better for them if he had something like an Infinity Edge as that 4th item. Will they be given the chance to get there?
At this stage, it's going to be rough. Jun finds Gen X, but you can see there's just not enough damage there behind us. This is kind of a build when you want to try and be ahead, because when you fall behind, there's just not enough, and now Giant X looking for more.
The AoE hurts. Nature's Grasp, great. Again, Close has had a good start too. If we're talking about names, as Inner Turret goes down, he's now zoned out, and just as I talk him up, He's going to get caught out. Rocket gives a reset for Rahel, and he starts firing away. Lot ulti's in, but his team is a little bit far away right now. The range from Noah going to help out, though, as they finally get within each other, as Giant X look for another angle of approach. But Noah's like, no, I'm going over the wall. This Ezreal unleashed. The flash forward, the burn on Genax, the ult not needed, and Noah is here on Giant X for now.
Noah's looking buff with that red buff. That was a play and a half. Immediately jumping onto the backline, and now Giant X, they just get to end the game.
He's feeling it, man. Giant X are running into the Nexus turrets. Whether they respawn or not, SK will never know because one drops down. Giant X looking for another. SK have got 20 seconds, 30 seconds in top lane as Jun looks for that final engage. At 33 minutes, Rika is going to Hero's entrance down, but his team is already dead. Outside of Rahel, there's no one standing in front of Giant X. Nexus turret number 1, Nexus turret number 2 now dead, and Noah yet again flashing on his Ezreal as the Nexus will fall, and Giant X, the hype is there. And we saw the Ornn ban, the Gnar ban, but Jax we see another time here today in the LEC.
Yeah, I think you've already kind of hit on the Alistar being that setup tool, so this is more to give Oscar in the comfort in the side lanes and see if you can beat that crash down available, which is kind of the shield you want for a potential dive, but level 3 on Oscar and
Mount up instead, it's now run its course, so no flip back yet. In fact, the counter-strike, well done. I was wrong, but Alvaro didn't get the mount up anyways. Oscar in and now trying to buy space. Super starts auto-attacking, takes a turret shot, the flash, ignite down, they're out of turret range, but Oscar in and uses the ward, but Super playing leg.
Sorry, the recurve boat is back pocket, so Fnatic trying to attack him immediately.
Oh, Alvaro goes over the wall. There's a root caller, gives Mickey a way in as well. The crash down on the spot, but Mickey gets a pulverize in return. Upset is fighting it out with Super, and Super's winning. A hail of arrows to get the slow lethal tempo.
Keep control of that top side enough for LUA to get the Void Grub. So nicely orchestrated here by Movistar Koi in the early stage. Jojo hasn't been able to really contest a lot of the movements. So even here you can see...
Ooh, flash from Mickey against the wall, and I see a cow who's leveraged Super against the wall, still there. Daisy now joins in, and a bullet time that Super can't escape from. His flash was up in 5 seconds, and it's a well-utilized time from Fnatic.
Really well played by Fnatic, playing off that tiny timing window there to pick up the kill. Now Jojo gets the flash from Humanoid.
He does, and Elyoy is here to help out as well. And Impale, that hits somehow. Hitbox a little bit OP as the shuffle down. Gravity Storm is great, but can Jojo contest? Razork has got Daisy back up and available, but as Daisy enters the rift once again, Koi have a good position, now almost getting 2 grubs.
Yeah, still though, Alvaro's very far from his team.
Yeah, he might be dead actually. Humanoid is also far from his team. He gets shuffled by Jojo, but the gravity field again does a bit of work. Chaos Storm can't finish him off though, and that's the first kill. Now, Grub's reset, 2 still up and available as Koi look for the next part of the fight.
Alvaro on the flank though, only just spotted out by Mickey. Mickey needs to keep him out.
Crash down is good, but Mickey has done his job. Bullet time there, but Alvaro flashes before he gets a final hit. Bullet time caught midway as Elyoya comes through. Mirwan gets a flash out of Upset, who's running for his life. Fnatic are losing this fight despite the low health bars from Koi. As a flip back from Mirwan is exceptional. The kill goes down, duly given credit as Koi again swim in their own pond.
Movistar Koi were so low on the health bars, but the quicker trigger pull from Mirwan to get into the fight, the better positioning on the TP, and the fact that Humanoid just got completely caught out at the early stage of that fight means they're able to win out. We're off the back of this, so good call by Jojo Pyun to follow up here, and here we go.
Against the wall, misses though. A counter-strike now subdues him, and Elyoya has to flash away. Not perfect, but the teleport can't be cancelled even though the turret's gone, and who cares if it was? Humanoid bursts into the scene, and against the wall, a mistake by Elyoya who's left alone, but the Impale, is it enough is the new question as he gets out with a sliver of his life, and somehow Koi are making it work. Super doesn't get
to enable him in these fights, and same with Jojo Pyun, just making sure that they are constantly safe and dealing the DPS if they need to.
And in such good position, Dragon now taken, spawning a Mountain Soul here when they have Cassante, Skarn, and Rel. A good front-to-back comp, feels good as Alvaro actually might be caught out against the turret though.
Mickey, no!
That was not right. Dagda, I think they didn't want
to Mickey for saving him. It will be Oscar in though in the side lane catching stuff out as...
Hello, Daisy.
Okay, got the interrupt, so we'll complete too far out of position to really try and follow up an upset, us one reset, so this is going to be a 4th objective now, going over towards Movistar Koi, and
seen is JoJo going to walk into the gravity field. He cares not because the setup's out. Alvaro flashes, gets a Magnet Storm, holds them in place. Super does the same with Chain's Corruption, but it only eventually gets Humanoid as he's out of range. Now Teleport as Fnatic want to look for a turn. Oscarin sets it up, but it's met by an Impale. Ulti on the way out, damage being done, but they can't get the job done again until Mirwin under turret says no! Humanoid gets in range, blinking health bars everywhere. A Root Caller gets it onto Super, but a knockback says no again! Fnatic Evil Geniuses as well. When he was alongside people like Inspired, you know, previously Rogue in the past at LEC as well. I mean, JoJo
on towards this third dragon.
They really don't, do they? Fnatic are going to try and contest. They started with a TP, but as Herald is going to be summoned in the midst of it to make a sixth man, Fnatic now think about how they get in from this choke. Dragon looked away from Koi, instead looking for an engage. Poke is there, Mickey starts it off, but he just presents himself for another Heartsteel stack. Backs off, and Fnatic can't make a decision. Mirwin gets a stun back as well. The gravity field stuns no one, and in goes JoJo! Da, 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 da. He is dead! Dagda, Mad Koi has still found themselves though. Running forward, Mirwin with a flip back, but even though they find JoJo, it's a golden win for the rest of Koi.
I mean, is it a beautiful end to the anime though, as Yoya wants to try and go a little deeper. We'll get stunned up. No support.
Super to follow. Yoink, another stack goes down the range. Almost connects with Oscarin, and Fnatic are back in their base.
Over-committing with TPs to plays that they shouldn't have, and this was the worry, was could Mickey same buff as you go through the enemy base, so Oscarin trying desperately to get in a position, but there's no ult for upset. This is a bit risky for Fnatic.
Getting stun after stun, no smite, of course, means that the risk stops there as Humanoid looking to get shuffled on, flashes away. JoJo now just auto-attacking, goes golden with a Chaos Storm in the middle of the wave, but again, Koi have taken another one to bite the dust, and that Chaos Storm is not going to get the kill either. Koi just keep getting
ultimates anymore.
It's going to get flashy for someone like JoJo as well, and what a debut. Dagda, I know the hype that came from Fnatic. I know that the hype that was there, saying they could be better than teams like G2, are they the best? Right now, people are questioning, like, hang on a minute. What do we think of Koi? What do we think of Fnatic now?
But the problem is, if JoJo Pyun just rocks all the European mid laners, like he's just beating Humanoid, does that mean that he just gets to rub all those old tweets in our face? Like, we kind of need him to be a little bit humble.
Right.
You can't just come into the region and just ruin everything, you know?
Cash, you got a big task to do. He got a lot to say. But for now, Humanoid little here in this game where he hasn't been able to play out his Victor. Been able to stack much as Oscarin with a stun. This is a hope. He's got Grandmaster's Might on top of Mirwin, but the rest of Koi are running in. JoJo does it again, but this time more members feel the sting as he sits in, takes no damage, and Upset tries to beat him some, but JoJo rocks up into a bullet time and will withdraw to play it back again.
And this is spectacular from JoJo Pyun. This is how you use the Atacam buff, setting up your team spectacularly to take 2 of these inhibitors with the Baron buff. And honestly, they might even be able to take a Nexus turret or 2. Now, Nexus turrets do respond, but does this game last 3 more minutes? I don't really think so.
I'm just wondering if JoJo can get there before they try and end the game. Here we go, all in from Alvaro, doesn't connect. Mirwin the same as well. Oscarin gets backline access, but does he have enough damage? He's swayed once more and broken down. GA pops, but super here to auto as Mickey tries to delay the inevitable. That GA should give him a little bit more to play through as Mirwin and Super still left standing, and look at Super having the time of his life on this virus. He blights one and takes another. A GA to send them back as Fnatic are left with no Nexus turrets.
There is nothing in the base of Fnatic, and what makes it worse is this. Well, Fnatic are gonna maybe need to find proof in the pudding here because they need something to go their way.
They need an entire cake at this point, Dagda, and if they could eat it too, they'd probably be given the time to look at those respawning Nexus turrets. There's a nice flip back. Mickey looking for his last engage. Chain of Corruption, flash away, and nicely done from Super. An exceptional debut for him this year as well, as you might be surprised, but everyone looked at this roster as one to prove the point. They went to Worlds last year, but they're looking to take a championship with it too, as they beat down Fnatic in 30 minutes.
For Tanky to go for something different.
Oh.
So I'm actually not sure what version of this Jace we're going to get. It could easily be full damage Jace, just with the amount of poke Ezreal, Victor, and also that Jace then offer, with the already beefy front for Vladdy in the lane. But G2 now going to answer, since Dragon was taken by Yike, towards Void Grubs, and I don't think he can really get in here.
Vladdy's got the health bar, but again, as you said, because that ulti's up there, scared, but Targamas says no, he starts trample and Khanzama with the cleanse out while Yike bops away, Lebrov's engaged. KC with an advantage here, but not before the third Grub goes down. G2 got what they wanted, but a kill given over. Trades big. KC with first blood on the board as Caps. Shuriken flip in on top of Vladdy, goes into the smoke screen again, he's got good damage and a good pathway. Vladdy's dead, and Caps cleaves him in two. To slow down Targamas, and he takes the upward path. Waits though, he still wants the body slam, but he's knocked up. Permafrost there, he gets out eventually, but he's not away. And
he's too low health to really try and push anything on that bottom half of the map. Kana now starting to rotate up, see if they can keep the mid lane play in check as well, as Caps will TP to the bottom lane.
With a Storm Surge in hand, so first item of the game, it looks like, no, excuse me, Revolver also there by Vladdy. While feats of strength going to be start stacking in the objective way for KC as well.
Mid lane now opening up Vladdy to look for a potential dive in the top half, but still KC in a decent spot here. They should be able to get the tower
I hear you, playing sides of the map better, right, as well. It's really important here as kind of just plays moving, I was going to say moving oyster, that's not a thing, but first turret blood might come through regardless here for KC. Didn't know oysters could move as one turret left, or plating rather.
But there's not really much you can really do here, because G2 can still collapse here.
They can indeed, but Lebrov's taking damage. Permafrost sent out. He's just dead. Lebrov biting off way too much as Skewmon takes a true shot barrage as well. KC with the advantage, and Skewmon sent packing, but Caps is like, I'm going in. Shuriken flip, not connecting here, but a shroud down just in case, and that's just Jace for you at the point of pick.
Yeah, it should be able to with the demolish, maybe.
I mean, this is KC, beats the strength. There they go. So first turret goes down. G2 weren't able to access bot and dagged up. Big win here as Kalis is going to get spiked up. Caps goes in and takes him down. Welcome to the LEC. It's clap style.
I thought he was going to be able to outplay Caps there. His team was on the way. But again, just that one step too far. Didn't expect the
carry, but he will have a true shot barrage as he spawns in 2 seconds as Lebrov is the target again. He's not that tanky, and Casey makes light work of him. There's going to be a TP flank, but G2 have already lost members. It's Caps and BB in the same play. Vladdy's a target. Shuriken flip doesn't connect as Skewmon is chasing Yike, and it's a broken apart fight. But speaking of broken, the blade is down. It's a trade out as KC use that set pressure to get the turret and the dragon in one fell swoop.
Yeah, at least they will push Caps back, but Skewmon going to answer with the Rift Herald on the top side. Broken Blade, I think, should be able to get the tower as well. I'm pretty sure that one's low on top of it. So you're getting at least the tower trades on opposite sides, the objective trades. But again, you have to see, can KC turn that Dragons in with the Trailblazer? He's going to be very, very quick. It may need to be in this case.
Matter too much as body slam is there. Explosive cast finds him. There's a crash down. He pops the unbreakable will though, so he'll survive for a little bit longer, but at a low health bar, maybe it matters not. Herald also gets the mid lane turret while the cow drops down. And that's just good beat for you right now as Caps going to take the 1v1. Kana's got the health bar, and I worry for Caps here while we look towards top. The Flash Cyclone catches Yike, and the old jungler of G2 is sent packing against the wall while Caps dies, but it's going to be the trade-off for the jungler. While you're on
this route in towards the back line, but now Kalist and Vladdy, very safe. Kana is not a tank Jace though, so Caps can also look for the kill on him.
Kana's trying to get the range, and he does on Han Summer as Dragons at 5k.
Oh,
this could decide the game. Dagda mentioned as Broken Blade wants to come in and find his angle. Caps has snuck into the brush, and now he sees Kana, the all-ins there. Lebrov has done exactly that onto the front line as well, but he's taken down an instant, and Caps is dying too. The blue wall has struck lightning of G2 as the knock-up is easily done, and Kalist blasts for another. G2 around.
Towards a third dragon, kills onto Kalist, and KC are coming alive in this final game.
Pulling apart the
deal with them. Caps is strong enough to essentially one-shot anyone because you don't have someone tanky.
Right time.
KC, wanna go?
They do. They found Skewmon. He gets a Cyclone out, but he flashes immediately. He's in the wrong place at the wrong time, and KC know that he's got to go down the wrong rabbit hole if they want to get the kill, but they don't find him. Broken Blade gets in the way. Artican does the same. They want to deny the soul at the very least, give less tools to KC.
Double TP's coming in though. KC, can they try and get in here?
Caps.
Yike.
Permafrost is there. The poke not there. I'm waiting again. The flash over the wall. Almost.
Vladdy gets it!
I said almost because it wasn't Yike. It was Vladdy with a damn laser.
It's KC's mid-jungle getting into the pit. that keep G2 at bay.
And
now
they're
going.
slow. They've got the slow and the permafrost as well. KC land ability after ability, and with the Hextech Soul, they find a lot, but Caps on the back end has found Kana. In fact, he's separated from his team. He flashes away, but LeBron with the all-in helps Caps, and he explodes! Caps finds the angle, and G2 see the fight.
Caps wants to reset to TP back into the fight. The calls are playing slow from G2, but KC...
Good damage from Broken Blade. He's taking this Victor out by himself, and they're going to need support as Caps is doing the same, but Kalist getting in the way. They instead turn as Articum was stolen. The GA is given over to KC, but they're getting destroyed. Broken Blade running away from Kalist, but he can't outrange Kana as G2.
No,
G2! Skumon clones. Kana's over the wall, though. He can still do what Kalist failed at, as he ranges through. Kana is at full HP, ready to take on the whole team. On the Hansama, getting the flash out is big, but he's got GA. He takes one with him. Kana almost a second. He'll withdraw, but G2
can open the game. The soul, the Atakan, taken from G2, thanks to Yike, thanks to Vladdy, and now it may just be the game stolen as well.
Didn't we talk about this when he was on G2 last year? We're like, man, Yike, some incredible steals in 2024. Well, now at the turn of this year, he opens game one, doing exactly that. Baron in their grass, Casp now under there, and he's Casp Baron enhanced minions.
But Kalista's mid, and so is Kana. They're just taking inhibitors in their faces. G2 can do nothing in this position. A Baron up wave is next on the menu for topside as Kalist starts to get the poke down.
It started with Spain earlier on. Koi entered the rift big, and KC are doing the same. France now approaching another inhibitor, another Nexus turret, or rather their first thereof, but the minion wave is going to help do the talking.
Noxus is further strong. It is not for the old, and KC are looking strong here against the old guards.
The ramp-up damage is disgusting as Kalist still has the GA for a little bit longer. He's the only one, but the Baron minions, again, are doing all the work. He arcane shifts forward, a bit psychotic, but he knows he'll die and come back. The rest of KC are doing the work anyway, and G2 left with one turret, have to hope to defend. A bullet time, great. A Cyclone, good. But in the end, it won't matter as KC still clean up the pieces. Caps there on the defense, doing the Lord's work. But Kana untouched until Hansama puts a bullet through his heart. Caps doing good, but in the end, even with the triple kill, the base is intact.
This top wave, the second he shows KC can look for the plays. Kalist going forward. He feels it.
Lebrov, Targamas with him as well in a choke. It won't be enough to dissuade him. True Shot Barrage dodged away from, but Lebrov is now at half HP.
Kana also moving up towards that top side. He's jumped on towards Caps as well. Kana looking to finish off the Akali.
They're going to get Elder Dagger. G2 can't do anything about it unless they go now, but Lebrov is spoken to harshly by Vladdy.
And now Kana has more words for the G2 backline, saying you have to get away from this. This is our territory. This is a new year in the LEC. And Broken Blade is about to find out about it.
Targamas on top, helped by Kana. He's caught out and he's going to die. Execute through. The blue wall is rising, and I don't know how high you can climb, but for G2, the heroes of the LEC, they are taken care of. First it was Spain with Koi, and now with France with the blue wall. KC have entered the rift, have entered the LEC for 2025, and they have taken care of firm favorites in G2. That looks like a bit of a bug. I don't know what to say about this, Dagda. I see no health bars, but now the Nexus after the ace, and KC beating G2 is going to hype you up for this roster.